Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues,
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1. GhanaTalks Radio, #1. GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. Thank God it's Thursday. We bless God for life. We are here today. We are grateful to God for life. Thank God it's Thursday. Finally, it's Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. Right. Good morning to you once again. And you are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. This is a news headline review. Right here, we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, relevant stories, and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. And I am Ruth Esenam Fiekbedu, and I'll be hosting you. Joining me in the studios this morning is Miss Debbie Adoso and Miss Regina Bless, who will be sharing their perspectives and opinions on national issues and any other issues that matter to you right here on the show. Good morning to you, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you doing, Miss Debbie?
The grace is sufficient.
Hope all is well.
Yes.
Was it difficult coming to work today?
Today, not really.
Not really.
The drivers were not getting passengers today.
Oh, okay.
It depends. You know, for Accra and Circle, it's kind of difficult. But it has to do with Pokwasi, Ablekuma. It's kind of getting passengers is a bit difficult.
And because the workers are also moving from there
to Accra.
Yeah.
The pressure is here. It's on this side rather than you coming from the other side to Pokwasi.
So for you don't need some of the buses the transport minister says they are bringing to you.
We don't need citizen.
But if
we need
it's easy to find car there, then you don't need a car.
We need
you don't need the buses.
We need it. It's not always. It happens once in a while. That is, if you want to get a Pokwasi bus that is filled early, then you have to wake up. I have to wake up like 1. That is for the business women and men. 1, 2, the other. Why? Have to wake up and prepare something first. So at least.
Miss Regina, how are you doing?
very good.
Oh, we thank God for life. Why? What's wrong? And I'm not eating breakfast.
I'm okay.
We are okay. We thank God. You say
I'm telling you.
Don't go by this time because you might not come back the time you want to come back.
And you need to be careful because they will end up taking your phone
and your money. So please, if you want to go to Accra, just wake up and go to Accra.
Very early.
Right. Let's dive into our major news items for this morning. So for our first story, minority criticizes government over inconsistency in lithium agreement presented to Parliament. The minority in Parliament has criticized the government over what it describes as serious inconsistency surrounding the Baribi DV lithium agreement. According to the minority, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakufibwa, initially appeared before Parliament to defend the lithium deal, assuring MPs that all required consultations had been done and that the agreement was in Ghana's best interest. However, the agreement was later withdrawn by the government, citing inadequate consultations with stakeholders. The minority says this contradiction has misled government and parliament and embarrassed the House. Speaking for the minority, Old Tafo MP Vincent Eko Asafua said ministers are personally responsible for the accuracy of information they present to Parliament. He argued that defending an agreement one day and withdrawing it the next undermines public trust and weakens Ghana's position in negotiating strategic mineral deals. The minority stressed that lithium is a critical resource for Ghana's industrialization, energy transition, job creation, and environmental sustainability, and must be managed with clarity and consistency. As a result, the minority is calling on the lands minister to resign, insisting that accountability must follow when contradictions arise on matters of national importance. So this is coming from the minority, and the person speaking on behalf of the minority is Tafo MP Asafua, and he says that when it comes to the lithium deal agreement, there have been some sort of inconsistency. And then looking at this, you can't say A and then you go back and then come and say B. When it happens like that, the public begin to lose trust in the government and even on in Parliament as well. So due to that, they are calling on the lands minister to resign, insisting that accountability must follow when contradictions arise on matters of national importance. Right, Miss Regina, do you think that this situation actually weakens public confidence in how Ghana manages its natural resources?
Okay. So, when giving an objective, it needs to be fair. It shouldn't be partisan related, and our objection should be objection. Yeah, objection overruled. Let me use opinion. Our opinion should be centered on parliamentary standards and other things. So, talking about your questioning.
Yeah, public confidence in how we manage our natural resources.
Exactly. Let's take this institution, for example. We are an institution where we give credible news to the people.
Yes.
And a reporter goes on the ground, gives a report to the people on live radio, live television, anywhere it's posted. Then you give an information contrary to what happened on grounds. Would your institution be seen as credible? It wouldn't. People will start doubting you. So looking at this issue on ground, for resigning there, I feel is too harsh. But for him to face the committee, or for him to face Parliament, to give in totos accurate information, he needs to be accountable for it, because no one else can be accountable for his negligence. How can you give a briefing today, then the next moment you take it off because of one or two irregularities? It doesn't make sense. For this, I stand with the minority on accountability, but for resigning, I feel personally is too much, because one or two ministers in Parliament have gone south, have made mistakes 1 or 2 times, but it doesn't mean that you need to resign. And to resign, it me feels like it's too much. But for him to face the law or to be accountable for his actions, for that, he needs to face the music.
Miss Debbie?
Yes, the minority have no right to call for the resignation of the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources. We all know that when you're bringing something on board, you're supposed to be sure that whatever you are bringing on board is fair enough. It shouldn't be, and then you are confident about what you are saying, and ensuring that what you are bringing on board is not going to cause any confusion, or at the end of it, you won't come back to retract what you said. So on the side of the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, in a way, he's wrong. He's totally wrong, because you don't bring something on board and then later on divert what you said or come up with an excuse that this and this and that. But what I've read, it's like he went ahead to present the deal in Parliament without negotiating with the people or the needed people he needs to negotiate with. So after he brought that out, then the what was it? The relevant stakeholders came out and then they make a pronouncement that they were not informed. So why then will you bring something to Parliament for Parliament to deliberate on, whilst we
are left in the dark? Yes,
we are left in the dark, but we need to go onto the dialogue table, but we know nothing about that, and that is typically wrong on the side of the minister. Yes, of the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. But on the side of the minority to call for his resignation, that is far
it's out
of the box. It is too much, because you equally did say no one is perfect.
So are we now doing tit for tat?
That's not what I'm saying. I started by saying that the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources didn't do a favor to his members in Parliament and also to Ghanaians for bringing such a deal to Parliament, and then later on the country hearing speculations of you not involving the right people before presenting that deal to Parliament. That is totally wrong. But on the other side, where the minority is saying that he should resign, as if whatever we call it, or not, he needs to resign. Were we not here when he came to make claims that President Mahama traveled out of the country and he left? The time no can say President Mahama left this country. What's wrong? I don't know what I heard this morning, but that's what is. That was not the actual time President Mahama left the country. President Mahama went to Japan. He said different thing.
I wasn't the one who said that President Mahama went with a private jet to
yes,
and then we later found that he joined the
He was the same person. So this person also needs to resign. Even when in the Bible, the lady with a clot of blood, right?
Yeah.
Obiaka say koko you are a form of adultery or whatever. God said, Mayra, no. Mayra. So the lady who was into adultery.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Hey, I was mixing things up.
Clot of blood.
Please forgive me. Okay, the clot of blood is a different.
It's a different Bible story.
The lady full of adultery or engaged in adultery. When he came to Jesus Christ, and then Obia said, "Oh, why will you receive her? She's full of sin." Yankopo said, "When him say why not to because you know that also shemubi." Now you the one bringing the thing on board. You yourself now you have question mark all around you, because even the fact you bring on board it's wrong. So we are not trying to back what Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa did. That was totally wrong. But you cannot call for his resignation. No. Were you the one who appointed him? No. It was the president who appointed him. And I know that you are in Parliament to watch over each other, watchdog, and ensure that they do the right thing.
Yeah.
But hey Jesus, calling for his resignation.
It's normal.
Please, it's
normal.
Calling for his resignation is out of the box. Like, it's bad. You don't do that. You cannot call for his resignation knowing fully well that he won't resign. Resigning would be difficult. But we were in this country where they were calling for the resignation of a former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, resigning here. He didn't resign. Knowing fully well that he didn't manage the economy well, he still didn't resign. Even when his own party members were telling him to resign, I said that was something with Jim. So with Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, resigning will be very difficult. But I think the best things our members of Parliament needs to take so seriously has to do with, before you bring a deal to Parliament, ensure that what you are bringing to Parliament, it doesn't have any flaws around it. If you are bringing this to Parliament, let your A be your A, let your B be your B, because don't forget that you are in Parliament with your opposition, and your opposition will find anything possible to get your mistakes and then use that against you. So you need to be very, 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 very careful. Very, very careful. So I think the NDC needs to do a lot of work. The more reason why I'm saying this is because I'm not trying to divert this issue, but let's take OSP's issue for instance. Majority went to Parliament and said they presented a bill to Parliament that OSP should be removed. President Mahama came to see and boycotting, and still the minority said that it means there was no proper dialogue between the president and the majority caucus in Parliament, and that is what we saw what happened. And then also anche bia Emmanuel Kofi Amabo ade no so na babepi. So I feel like in terms of communication and that
they don't communicate.
They need.
Is it that they don't communicate? But you know that the legislature
I think for the petition, they don't have to consult.
Because
it's their petition.
No, it's their petition. Isn't with the majority and president?
Yes.
So the petition Parliament. It's not the majority that petition Parliament for OSP to be removed. And then the president came and he said, "Emfa." So what happened? It looks as if the majority knows nothing about it. This can be equally done backdoor, so that majority, when you come to Parliament, you know how to go about the whole issue.
But the president is not supposed to be dictating.
No, he's not supposed. That is wrong. But our constitution has given the executive much power over the legislature. Unless we review the constitution and ensure that then that would be fine. Because even the legislature sometimes detects for the judiciary, which is not supposed to be so.
I think from her point of view, what I'm trying to understand from what she's saying is that since majority and the deputy majority whip sends their petition, it's right for the president or the office as a whole to review whatever they brought, rather than coming out to just debunk it, to just dismiss it.
That is
like
wrong.
that.
I feel that was how it
because
should have been.
why you or mama now they have no option, they just have to comply.
They've embarrassed
and Anchebia Emmanuel also there, but oh God is
as an say NDC for no
or
they are misbehaving
in a way. So I feel like they should really back up.
They should really back up.
They should.
But looking at this particular issue, are you happy or do you have confidence in how the government is managing our resources? Because lithium, 5%.
It was 10% now, about 5%.
Seriously,
our own lithium.
Our own, no.
It will only happen when we are not ready to build more industries that will process the raw materials into valuable products for us to use, because all the natural resources we mine here is being transported into other countries and they have the equipment and everything. They process it into the valuable product we want. They take larger portion of the shares and then they give you what you deserve. That is equally what you deserve, because you cannot bring natural resources to me. The equipment I'm using to process this is my own money. The oil and whatsoever, even the labor force, I'm paying the people. So I'm going to take the larger part of it and give you the little one you deserve. And don't forget that the one you'll be given, no matter how small it is, that is the money you are going to depend on as a country. What are you going to do with that? Because that money will be projected into other sectors. And so we will basically be marking time till we start having that notion of building more industries, processing our own raw materials into valuable goods. Then we can disassociate ourselves from these people that we send or we transport our natural resources to for them to process it. And then they definitely, when you bring me something to process, I will take the larger part and give you the smaller part, because one share.
So it's just like you taking your hair to, you already have your wig for bundling that you want a wig cap. Then you take it to a hairdresser without you sending anything, just your wig.
Yes.
So all the things you put in, no. And it looks like Ghana, we are fond of doing that.
Yes.
Cocoa, gold, everything we want to take it outside. Right.
Even common salt, I will send it, then they'll do it. They will process it into an apuna.
We
have
buy big sticks here in Ghana, big trees where we can you can say manufacture certain little things from it. But we will still import those things into the country. It's bad.
It's very bad. That is why we are still poor.
Oh yes.
We will continue to be poor.
Oh yes.
60 something years. Because
the thing is here. I have the advantage of having it naturally here. And then I bring it to you and you're giving me 5%.
5%
to do what?
Hey.
It makes sense. because a lot goes in, as Debbie said, the labor force, the materials they are using, the machines they are using. It didn't just fall from the sky like a year kind of. Is it a the stool didn't just fall from the sky. They bought it, and it needs maintenance each and every day.
So as a country, what can we do? We shouldn't even list at all.
Oh
No.
And we should, just as you mentioned, that we should manufacture or provide more processing industries right here to do it, rather than sending it to these people.
Simple.
And I know so you need
we can. It's all about buying the machines.
We can do it. You know, even when
we don't have the workforce.
The first workforce.
Ghana, they don't have.
Hey, if you're talking about the country where we have labor workforce, people with intellect, it has to do with Ghanaians. So you know, sometimes you go to universities to learn things, but when you come out, there are no industries where you can practice, and so most of our workers are traveling out of the country. There are opportunities in Abeba from other countries. They are making good use of it because they don't have it here. Even the one we have it with our own mouth, we are collapsing it. It doesn't even stand. When the first president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame, do you know he set up a pencil factory? Adani we for quarters. Oh yes, most of those factories has now become a wee factory and it's no more in existence. But trust me, all those developing countries we know, they are developing on these industries, and the more you build it, you create a job for the people. If you feel like the people we have are not good enough, send them outside the country, let them learn from these people. When they learn from these people, they add up to their knowledge. That is why we have a lot of people, a lot of Ghanaians traveling outside the country. It's not because we don't have the best schools here, but because they want to also add up to their knowledge. Come back to the me kopa dia me baby. Oh yes, me kopa dia me baby. I won't come. You know, yesterday I came across something. I'm not diverting the whole issue, but then I came across a video where people were complaining. We're being invested for 34 years. Onye Jumanye on the Namosa. 34 years of age. Onye Jumanye. So it should tell you that we start. What is in?
See, sometimes.
So you are sitting down and you're waiting for the government.
Sometimes you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for the government.
My dear, you're not in the shoes of the person. You don't know
what they
want.
Nanado, then president, he came out publicly to say that the government, you can't say, I am. So the best thing for you to do is to learn a skill.
That was even wrong. Why would you tell us that payroll? It's your right to create more jobs.
Right.
It's your right as the president to create more jobs. So why then are you taking our taxes? So the taxes is to create more jobs and employ the people. So you have no right.
Taxes are used to pay. They are using the taxes to pay the ministers. They are using to travel. They are using that same taxes to pay off debts. And you man forget it. So if you are waiting for the government, a combat do.
But you see, it tells us that our government, they are not serious.
They are not serious. So be serious yourself.
See, you have no idea. True. You have no idea. If they were trying,
but you had the money to the university.
But you can't wait on the government.
It's your parent that.
So why don't you see? My mom asked me, "Do you want to go to school, or do you want us to set up a business for you?" And I chose what I want. I want to go to school. And she said, "Ebi school na me coin. If I didn't end up here, because they told me point blank, do you want school or business?"
Yeah. So you see, I get the point you are coming from. It's very right. Of late, even those with quotes under ACR they're having 50-20 works, and every day they are attending seminars to get more ideas, entrepreneurial conferences to get more ideas. But see, it is sad. It is sad because as a government, you have no right to tell us that payroll. So I am master saying, I didn't think I was saying
UPSC. They had their graduation. Dr. Baumia went there and told them that there's no job.
There's no job.
You are graduating.
So what are you doing? What are you doing?
Dr. Baumia was the one that made that statement.
So then he should bow down his head in shame. Because what are you doing as a leader?
No, I said
close the schools. Close the schools.
Let's use a wax incident as an example. They should tell you the number of youth out there who are unemployed.
Yeah,
it's sad though. They should bow their head in shame.
And also to the youth, everything is not all about the white collar job. Yeah. Everything is not about government. Everything is not about the offices. Now the people who are doing the dirty jobs are getting and generating more revenue than we are here talking blah 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 blah.
So your monthly pay, is someone's daily your monthly pay, someone daily's money she gets in a day. A day. So she said that those people are making more money. That is fine. I have no issue with that. But what I'm saying is that our government, our leaders, they should bow their head in shame. We cannot have all these resources and still people go to school, graduate, and then they come home. It is your right to provide them with those works.
First of all, I wouldn't blame the leaders because it's our fault. We voted them there. We elected them. We use this akokromoti to vote bad people in power.
All right, moving on.
So the best thing we can do now is, I think when we've got into as a country, we don't want any leader.
We will rule ourselves.
We will rule ourselves seriously, because that is why everybody. If today I get an appointment, I won't stay in this country. I won't do it because the country is favoring only a class of people.
Mm-hmm.
A class of people.
It is even favoring only the rich.
Only the rich.
Those who already have it.
Yes.
It is only favoring them.
Obi appointment we did 1 month. We fly Obia, Nabusha Obia, even the cat. They are all in US having fun, being paid. Housemaid cry AG pay from government payroll. And then in a payroll so nyama.
Gardener.
It's taking pay, and then a whole graduate is walking on the street.
See, it's painful.
All right, let's move on.
It's very painful to be in a country where your interest is not at heart.
Don't worry. Next time you are Beth, you
will people say, why am I even in this country?
I don't know how I came here. Seriously.
All right, let's move on.
Or we should use a fetish priest as a president.
Hey.
It will help.
Upon Kuma Upon Kuma accuses NDC of intimidating judges in Bandai election ruling. Former Information Minister Kojo Upon Kuma has accused the ruling NDC government of intimidating judges following the Tamale High Court decision to annul the 2024 parliamentary election in Bandai. Speaking on the matter, Mr. Upon Kuma described the court ruling as a serious test of Ghana's democratic maturity. He argued that the NDC's action amounts to political interference and poses as a serious threat to judicial independence. According to him, the law allows an aggrieved parliamentary candidate only 21 days after results are declared to challenge the outcome in court. He maintained that the NDC candidate's petition was filed outside the legal time frame and should not have been entertained by the court. Mr. Oponkoma further alleged that judges are increasingly operating under fear, citing the recent removal of the Chief Justice as an example of what he described as government intimidation. He warned that such a climate could pressure judges to rule in favor of the government rather than strictly uphold the law. He called on the judiciary to remain firm and independent, stressing that the courts are the final protectors of Ghana's constitution and democratic order. Why do these people believe that the Bandai ruling was influenced by political pressure? Miss Debbie,
who is even saying that?
That's coming from Kojo Kuma. That's now the courts we have in our system are operating under fear and panic. And he's citing an example of the Chief Justice, the removal of the former Chief Justice.
Oh,
do you believe that this whole Bandai Buhara was actually influenced by the ruling government?
I don't see it as such. I don't. Because even residents from Pandai are complaining that the current member of parliament wasn't voted upon. They feel like there were irregularities that favored the current member of parliament. Okay, so that is why they need a rerun. So if we should target someone or blame someone, that should be the EC, because the EC has the right to ensure that these things are prevented. But if these things are not prevented and then they have to be a rerun, what then do you blame the current administration? What did they do? Nothing. They didn't do anything. They feel like, I remember when the previous government was in power and then NDC raised something, issues like this, and they told them that if you feel like you've been cheated upon, go to the court. That is what they said, go to the court. So they went to the court. So you now feel like, you see, when you are in power, you are doing something, you feel like you're right. But then when a different government comes into power and then they are trying to show you something very small, you feel like they are hitting, like they are coming harder at you. But I don't feel like the court is being influenced or the Pandai re-election is being influenced. It's not being influenced. If they feel like and then someone has become a member of parliament and they want to rerun the election, what is your problem? The best thing I feel like you should do is relax. Let the election be rerun. Whoever deserves to be a member of parliament will still be voted for, and the person will become a member of parliament. So I don't see this issue be the elections in Panda being influenced, or are judges being intimidated, or they are pushing them to become so timid that they cannot do whatever they want to do unless a political party tells them to do something before they do. No, I don't see it as such. If that is going on, then the judges themselves should talk so that we will hear that something of that sort is being going on. I don't like the fact that they are bringing in Tokono's case. Why? That woman's issue, we've already solved it, right? We've already solved it.
You and who?
And we solved it. So I don't
talk about it, sir.
I don't know why they keep bringing Tokono's issue. If somebody has petitioned the president for Tokono to be removed, it is they, the MPP themselves, that are not being so sincere to themselves. Because this woman was petitioned even when you were in power. You didn't do anything about it. And then when the current administration came on board, the government was still petitioned. President Mahama did not just stand up and say, Tokono, go and sit down. No. They went to the necessary procedures. And I'm sure they were the same people that are encouraging this woman to go to ECOWAS court, to do this, to do that, knowing fully well that you cannot win a fight against a government, a sitting president. It's not going to work. So for me, I see no reason in what they are saying that the court is being influenced in favor of the NDC and the Pandai re-election is being influenced. The only thing I see here is fear. The MPP is afraid that the NDC will take that seat again. And which means that micro minority, no.
Yeah, say more. Right. Let's wait on what Supreme Court will say. If indeed we have to go for a rerun.
That will be 13th January. 13th January.
Next month.
Next month, yeah.
All right. Miss Regina.
Yeah. Okay. So before that, where would I even start from? The EC does not declare a seat vacant. The clerk in Parliament does not also declare a seat vacant. It's the only the only person who has the right to declare a seat vacant is the Speaker of Parliament. That is Alban Bagbin. So after Alban Bagbin declares a seat vacant, that is where the Clerk of Parliament comes in to formally write to the Electoral Commission. And the Electoral Commission also, within a space of 30 days, would bring up rerun. And I think it's backed by Article 1112 of Clause 5. If I'm not lying there, no, I'm not lying because it's true. Article 1112 of Clause 5, yes. Now, the EC has done the part. The Electoral Commission, Alban Bagbin, now, the other party, that is Matthew Nindam, takes the issue to court. So, now tell me how NDC comes in. Now tell me how NDC is influencing the final verdict of this whole issue. See, it's becoming too much. See what they did to this man, Jachi Kwesin. See that then times when I was reading, I was like, hey, this man is suffering. No, we are not politicizing this issue here, but it's becoming too much. I don't know if the NDC can't also take this issue to court and sue them, because this Pandai MP, I don't know if I should give him former or former MP, Matthew, he specifically and boldly said on national television that NDC orchestrated this. But because of Electoral Commission's negligence and, sorry to say, incompetence, that was what brought this whole issue. From irregularities, from pink sheets, from not making sure everyone was present before formally declaring someone a winner. So how is it the fault of the NDC? And now Opon Nkrumah is saying that NDC is ruling over this thing, that the mastermind behind this. It's a very serious allegation. And it would seem as if the should I say politics have a larger hand or have an upper hand in whatever that goes on in High Court, Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be taken slightly, because our judicial system is being undermined.
Yeah.
It's very serious. I always say, and we all sit here and always say that we can defend your issue, or you can defend your statements without giving false informations, without making it seem as if the other party is at fault. But as a politics are quite a dirty game, so they be an eye so, which shouldn't be so. So upon Nkrumah, it's better he retract. And as NDC from the family as spokesperson, I mean, sue on woman.
I mean, that would be a back and forth something.
Yeah.
And they will still feel like, well, because they are in power, so they want to intimidate them. Already, the NDC is not intimidating you, and then you feel like you are being intimidated. But if you look at this case very well, you will realize that the court is being fair. So you send the issue to court. The NDC also went. Everybody was treated fairly. The NDC was firmly grounded that they want the election should be done on 30th December.
Yeah.
And then Matthew Nyindam went to present another fresh case, and they looked into the issue. They said, no, we want to have a further hearing of his case. And then they've scheduled the date to 13th January. It should tell you that the court is being fair. If not, if the NDC is trying to intrude in the affairs of the court, then I'm not sure they'll even give a hearing to Nyindam. They wouldn't even reschedule the date to 13th January. In fact, 30th December now, the rest needs to be conducted. So the court is working in its fairness without being intruded.
Without being intimidated or intruded. So upon Nkrumah, be careful. Higher mining royalties could cause Ghana investment jobs. Chamber of Mines caution. So the Ghana Chamber of Mines is warning governments that plans to increase mining royalties could harm the country's mining sector. According to the chamber, Ghana already takes between 45 and 60% of mining profit, one of the highest government shares globally. It says any further increase could discourage investment, lead to job losses, and affect the long-term sustainability of mining operations. The chamber notes that while gold prices are currently high, such price increases are temporary and should not be used as a basis for permanent tax hikes. It also raises concern about proposed changes to the Minerals and Mining Act, including shortening mining lease periods, describing these moves as unfriendly to long-term investors. Executive Chief Officer of the Chamber, which is Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, explained that the combined effect of royalties and the growth and sustainability levy has already pushed the effective royalty rate to over 10% of gross revenue. He warned that raising rates further could make many mines unavailable and reduce Ghana's competitiveness compared to other mining countries. While the chamber supports the idea of a sliding scale royalty system in principle, it insists that the structure must be carefully designed. It is therefore calling on the government to engage widely with industry players to strike a balance between raising revenue and protecting jobs and investment in the mining sector. So we are just going to talk about this briefly, then we move on to the next segment. Miss Eugenia, what can you say to this? Briefly, something just short. Our time is almost up.
Okay, so briefly, one thing I know about business is business and boka.
Yes.
So there's no way we can. It's just like you running a business and Ghana Revenue Authority is demanding a high rate from you. I think they need to go back to the drawing board to make sure that whatever they are proposing to these people, whatever they are bringing on board, would be fair to everyone and would be reasonable and understandable to everyone.
Thank you. Miss Debbie.
Yeah, so the money royalties, which are payments made by mining companies to the government to for the extraction of natural resources such as gold, manganese, and other minerals.
Yes.
And so the current royalty rate stands at 5%, which I think some stakeholders are saying it's too small or something.
Now you 5%.
Yeah, they said it's too small, so it should be increased. It should be increased for them. Yes, as he said, no one venture into a business to crash. Everyone is venturing into a business for a profit. So I feel like, well, in a way, it should be looked into. Everyone wants its gain, because so long as the company belongs to you, you're supposed to make profits, but the government also has its share in that as well.
Yes.
You should also take note of that. Although you have your company, but we also need that revenue, which is very, very necessary. So I think the best thing we can do to clear this confusion is to go back, communicate among themselves, think about a fair percentage that is going to favor these companies and also favor the government.
Favor the government. Is there anything you want to add up?
No, ma.
All right. That'll be all then. Thank you so much for joining us in the news headline review. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Today in history, 1622, Portuguese forces won the Battle of Imbombi, sometimes called Imbadikasi on this day, defeating a Congo army, but this victory was short-lived, sparking Congo's King Pedro II to rally forces, leading to a larger Congo victory at Imbadikasi or Imbombi, initiating the Congo-Portuguese War and eventually an alliance with the Dutch against Portugal. Donald Trump became the third U.S. president to be impeached by the House of Representatives, which charged him with abuse of power and obstructing of Congress. He was acquitted by the Senate in February 2020. Slavery abolished in America with adoption of 13th Amendment when U.S. Secretary of State William Seward announced the ratification of the 13th Amendment, making it law after Georgia became the 27th state to approve it, officially ending the institution passed by Congress earlier that year. The amendment prohibits slavery and involuntary servitude except as punishment for a crime. Fulfilling the goal President Lincoln pursued to permanently abolish it nationwide after his Emancipation Proclamation. 1941, Japan invades Hong Kong. Was a key day in Japan's invasion of Hong Kong during World War II, when Japanese forces landed on Hong Kong Island after overrunning defenses on the mainland, beginning the intense battle that led to the colony's surrender on Christmas Day and the start of a harsh occupation. To some few observances, Republic Day in Niger celebrates Republic Day, marking the founding of the Republic and establishment of the presidency as the country moved toward full independence from France. Lastly, National Twin Day, a day to honor the unique bond between twins, acknowledging their special connection, whether identical or fraternal, and celebrating their shared experiences and personalities. It was officially proclaimed to appreciate this unique sibling relationships. So if you have a twin, do well to honor them today. And that's all for today on Today in History and some observances, live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless. Today is Twin Day.
I'm a twin, so please honor me.
Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. Executive Director of the Joint United Nations Programme on HIV/AIDS has urged African countries to urgently identify and close gaps in the HIV response to achieve the goal of ending AIDS by 2030, noting that more than 9 million people across the continent still require life-saving treatment. They stated that it serves as a United Nations Under Secretary General made the remarks at a press briefing on the sidelines of the ongoing 23rd International Conference on AIDS and Sexually Transmitted Infections in Africa. According to them, the need for Africa to urgently strengthen both prevention and treatment efforts, noting that while the continent stands before unprecedented opportunities driven by innovation, technology, and strong community systems, HIV responses must be prioritized and adequately resourced. They emphasize that protecting human rights remains central to delivering effective HIV services. They acknowledge that some African countries have already achieved 95/95 targets ahead of schedule, but stress the need of identifying and addressing remaining gaps. According to them, certain population-specific geographic areas and children continue to be left behind in treatment, while adolescent girls and young women remain disproportionately affected by new infection. Tackling societal barriers such as stigma and discrimination is essential to closing prevention and treatment gaps. She urged countries yet to meet the 95/95 target to intensify efforts by prioritizing HIV, investing in human resources. Yes. So this is very sad because African is leading with HIV/AIDS infections. I think recently they've been a high record in Ashanti region and Central region, and somewhere along the line, I think from Monday to Tuesday, we saw instances where they said HIV has been so alarming in the Volta region, and I think somewhere in the Eastern region, so 30 pregnant women were diagnosed of HIV. And I think this is very sad. This is something we need to take very seriously. I remember some time ago we went on ground to interview people based on HIV/AIDS, and then listening to what the youth are saying, it feels as if they see no wrong in, let me just put it this way, they see no wrong in having that infection, HIV/AIDS infection. They don't see it to be a deadly disease because after all, if they are being infected by HIV, they will go to the hospital and they'll be given medications. They'll be treated with the necessary drugs and then they will be fine. And then we've encountered people who told us that there is no speciality in using condoms. They see no reason why they should use condoms. And even complaining that those condoms factories do not even produce their products very well. But I also remember vividly well that a company which produces condom brought out a plea where he says that their products are no longer being purchased, and so pharmacies do not have that interest in buying their product any longer. And I'll say this has also contributed to the high rise in HIV/AIDS. And now they are cautioning African countries that by 2030 there should be a reduction in HIV/AIDS, and I'm pretty sure that this is not going to happen. For it to bring an end to HIV/AIDS, still there has to be a lot of sensitization or education on the HIV. And I wouldn't say that these people do not really know the consequences of you having unprotected sex. They are aware. But they feel like, well, for pleasure's sake, we have to do that. We have to just offer our body without no protective gears. And I feel like this should be a major concern for the country. I don't know for other countries, but for my country, I know HIV is on the rise. And we need to do something about it. We can't say that these people are well educated. Well, I fully know that they know the right thing, but they just don't want to do it. But that also does not give us the basis that we shouldn't go about preaching on HIV/AIDS. And this should be done from the lower levels. I remember those times back in schools, they'll bring in nurses, health professionals that are so much endowed with everything concerning HIV/AIDS. They'll come, they teach you. Sometimes they bring in materials to experiment for you to see, and also show you pictures of people affected with HIV/AIDS, how to equally prevent yourself from acquiring such a deadly disease. HIV, as it stands now, we don't have a drug or a medicine that can cure HIV. You can only be put on medication so you pass on. So I should tell you that it's a deadly disease. And I can tell you that 50% of young ladies now in this country see prostitution as a very convenient job for them to do. Migration was mentioned, and I think it makes sense. Because we have a lot of people trooping into this country not knowing where they are going. I remember some time ago, the court of Ghana arrested people, some group of men who are Nigerian, and this is what they do. They go to their country, lure people, tell them that they have job offers in Ghana. They will take your name, give you files to fill and make it so real. When you get in here, they push you into prostitution. And then they give you a deadline. They will tell you that you're supposed to pay 50,000 before you'll be allowed to go scot-free. Where do you get that money? So this is what they do. They give you men to sleep with. And then when you sleep with the man is giving you like 1,000 cedis. That 1,000 cedis, it goes to your boss. You don't even get a quarter of that money. And that is basically what they do. So they've rented a whole apartment where they've kept these young ladies. Until you are able to settle that money, you are not leaving. And they'll make you to swear an oath where they involve fetish praise, smashing of eggs, pouring out libation and all that. They do things to tie you, so you don't get the chance of running. And I feel these things should be something that we should bring an end to. We have a lot of foreigners living in this country. How they got in here, no one has an idea. And the only thing they can do for survival is this, is what we are seeing now. HIV/AIDS, as we all talk about it, we feel like it's something very normal. It is not. We can prevent it. We can equally prevent that. And that is why there needs to be more education. We need to educate these people, especially at schools, the young ones. What HIV entails, how you can acquire this HIV. It's not only our sexual intercourse. Using blades, sharp tools that does not even belong to you. All these are basic stuff that causes this, which can equally be prevented. If we don't take these things into consideration and then fight against it now, then it's going to escalate. Because I think African countries has been given a deadline that by 2030 there should be a decline in the record on HIV cases. And I know, let's be sincere with ourselves, it can only work when we've made up our mind that yes, we are going to tackle with this. We're going to try our possible best that this doesn't happen. And this can only be done if we are serious about it. Because as I said, Ashanti is leading the race, Central region follows, Bono region is next, Volta region. And then the other regions. We live in a very wicked generation that everybody I wouldn't want to die with that disease. So instead of me dying alone, then I have to spread it out so that everybody will have their share. And you can only have your share if you can't abstain. That is why the statement goes, abstain yourself from sex, premarital sex. But if you don't want to abstain yourself and you don't want to also use the right means, then this is what is going to happen. It's been a while I've seen those nurses doing that again. At first, you see them moving from communities to communities, from schools to schools, educating people. And sometimes with the pregnant women, it kind of baffles me a bit. I don't know whether they were already infected before they got married, or they acquired it from the person they are living with. Because 30 women being infected by HIV/AIDS. On an early detection, the child will be free. But if it is not being detected early, then the child can equally be affected by the deadly disease. What we are basically saying that HIV is a deadly disease and we need to prevent and abstain ourselves from it. If you feel like you are the type that you cannot sit at one place, then you better protect yourself because it's necessary. I don't think this will be a national issue if it is not needed. Imagine you going to the street to interview people and then the majority of people you meet see no wrong in premarital sex. They see no reason why they should use condom. And we interviewed a young man. The way he was speaking, in my mind I was like, oh, I see. So your parents are aware this is what you do. This is the kind of job you've created for yourself to do. And I don't want to believe the fact that you can't get anything to do. When you get on the street, even if it is choba, you will do something, you'll get money. And I think streetism is also another issue. We need to encourage our people, even if you are in the village, you still have opportunity. You farm, you feed. That is enough. Why would you come here? When you come here, definitely you don't have anybody. So the only place you will have to sleep will be on the street. And when you are on the street, you're vulnerable to everything that comes your way. So I think that should be another issue we should deal with. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you so much, Ms. Debbie. And thank you too for making time with us on the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll be coming up with a news shortly, and right after the news, we'll hit you up with the main discussion. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries,
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Every occasion demands the company of good music.
that fits the purpose. At GTR Sounds, we understand your need to create just the right atmosphere for your wedding or engagement, party, funeral, crusade, political campaign or rally, or just any other event, as well as executive and corporate functions. With our modern and high-quality spinning machines, mixers, microphones, and power amplifiers, binary speakers, and subs, we offer the highest of sound quality and music play at events and functions. At GTR Sounds, we have a team of seasoned and highly experienced sound engineers who understand just the right choice of music for your event. Locate our studios at Aponchi Hotel in Anya or call our numbers 054-8522-897 or 027-3363-973. You can also reach via our email sounds@GhanaTalksRadio.com. At GTR Sounds, we take care of your event.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
Welcome to the morning news update on GhanaTalks Radio. Coming up, President Mahama launches Oxygen City housing project in the Volta region. Traditional leaders sounds alarm of abandoned chips compound in Trimbo. Relocation edge amidst funding shortfalls at Nkamfua Dam site. Energy Minister Jinapo urges officials to sustain sector gains. La Paz traders take lead in sanitation drive ahead of the Christmas festivity. These and many more coming up your way shortly. President John Dramani Mahama has cut short for Oxygen Seating housing project in Ho, marking a significant step towards addressing the country's housing deficit in the Volta region. The project undertaken by the TDC Ghana Limited aims to provide affordable and well-planned homes, promoting balanced regional growth and economic development. The 1,860-acre project will feature multi-story apartments, commercial spaces, and recreational facilities, including schools and shopping centers. According to the president, the project will create employment, stimulate economic growth, and improve living standards in the region.
It's especially significant that this development is taking place here in Ho. The expansion of TDC Ghana Limited beyond the original Tema acquisition area is not accidental. It is a conscious policy. Development must not remain concentrated in a few enclaves. Our national objective is clear. Growth must be regional, it must be equitable, and it must be purposeful. Ghana continues to face a substantial housing deficit, one that weighs most heavily on working families, young professionals, and public sector workers. Addressing this deficit cannot be done in isolation. Housing must be delivered alongside roads, water, sanitation, transport systems, schools, healthcare facilities, and other economic opportunities. And so projects such as Oxygen City directly respond to this challenge. They represent integrated urban development, creating complete ecosystems where people can live, work, access services, and build livelihoods within the same geographical space. The Volta region is uniquely positioned to benefit from this approach. It is an important administrative center, a growing educational hub, a major tourism destination, an emerging investment corridor.
Traditional leaders in Efejai Kwabre South are warning politicians against making empty promises as the community abandoned chips compound remains neglected years after construction. The compound, initiated 3 years ago, was meant to serve surrounding communities but has been left unattended to. During a visit by the district chief executive, Patricia Pearl Ankara, the community leaders expressed their frustration and disappointment. The facility allocated an acre of land by the Didesuba Hene Nana Bafo Kofi II in 2020 was expected to be completed within 6 months, but has been halted due to lack of funds. Residents are calling for accountability, highlighting the need for better healthcare services.
Politics will be another. Obekan de ni abajiso. Ebe wi akire na akoye dimbo. Nti ye bom pa se de onu abeka no. Osoro hemmoa no. Onka na adwene se asem abeka no. Enko se bia hwe bi wada bia no beboa ye na man mu nyampra. Afiri mu aba. Ya bo ni dina ka asem wa hasa bia. Maami baaye na bia. Saadi inside aka. No so meka nya ho. Se bia beka agya ho. No so beka agya ho de an se hu fasodie bia ye de. Enya free cancer ho. Se de me hu ni se esi ho ache. Dana mu kra na week so bubu no so mu shaase afofra be ma hodene abem ama asa store ye gina o se de tie na edi ka so no umum di ka tu ana mom se anko wie peye ti aban we aba na so abeso asen so bebo ani am fi se obubu no o start afofra be ye kama sense na wo ho na asai so ka se to aso saa na bedu ba bi no ebi be ka sa de ne enjuri dan na engu ne ensin foforo afi ebi hwetwa ma yise pillars foforo nti yi firi on se starting foforo a se ehun se starting foundation.
The Nkamfo Dam site, a critical waste management, is facing severe challenges of inadequate funding and delayed payment. According to Managing Director of Waste Landfills Company, the site, overtaken by urban development, now requires urgent relocation. In an interview, Dr. Dagadu highlighted the dire conditions at the dam site, citing insufficient funds and payment delays as major obstacles to effective waste management. The site's proximity to residential areas poses significant environmental and health risk. Residents living around the dam site have repeatedly voiced about the unbearable conditions, with uncountable demonstrations to protest their discontent.
The long and short of this issue is that there's no direct funding for managing this particular facility. So we as managers have not had any payment for a very long time, and that has been what has contributed significantly to the conditions on site. In addressing some of the issues that have been raised, indeed, when this site was, if you even look at, when you use evidence from Google Maps and other resources, you realize that when this site was established or started about 25 years ago, it was very far from any land use activity. It was a dot in a bush, but with time, development has caught up with it, and the conversation must start now for its relocation. Ideally, we should not have facilities located close to residential facilities, and that is what we seem to be having now. But the root cause or the main cause of this issue currently has to do with funding for managing some of these dam sites. And it is not, the Camp Wildlife is not exclusive. Most of the regional dam sites are also facing similar predicaments.
The Minister of Energy, John Abu-Jinapor, has called on chief executive officers, directors and supervisors of agencies under his ministry to work diligently in sustaining the progress made in the energy sector. Speaking at the annual appraisal retreat in Takoradi, he congratulated staff for their efforts in sustaining power generation, cautioning that 2026 will be a year of reforms. According to him, public office is a privilege demanding discipline, professionalism and accountability. He urged agencies to move beyond planning and focus on execution with realistic strategies aligned with national priorities.
About performance and accountability. Public office is a privilege, and for all of you here who are CEOs, it's not because you are the most outstanding. It is because the president has found privilege and favor and decided to appoint you. And it comes with clear expectations. His Excellency President Mahama has made it unequivocally clear that underperformance will not be tolerated. And please, let's mark this. And this starts from the minister to the last person. Whether we like it or not, there will be reshuffle. It happens at the ministerial level. And so all of us are fighting to keep our jobs. That is the reality and that is the truth. In every government, there will be reshuffle. The question is, who will be reshuffled? That is the privilege of the president. And the president will assess his ministers and decide who stays and who does not stay. I want to stay. I must be frank with you. I'm very happy with this job and I want to stay. If the president says no, if the president says thank you, go home, I thank him and go and sit down like that. But it depends on you. The success of the minister depends on his lieutenants. And you can attest that my working relationship with you has been excellent. I haven't had a problem with any chief executive. And I'm not the minister who makes unnecessary demands. And you can attest to that. That is a fact. I don't make unnecessary demands on you, be it contracts, be it anything, and you are here. If you are honest with yourselves, you can tell that I'm not the minister who intrudes into your day-to-day activity and wants this from you or that from you. What I seek is that we do the right thing. And if I am being dishonest, you are here amongst yourselves. You can talk amongst yourselves and confirm that I'm not that kind of minister. And so just as there will be reshuffle of ministers, there will be reshuffle of chief executives. And I know all of you are very happy with your jobs. Nobody wants to lose his job like me. That means that we have to deliver. The energy sector appears to be getting a lot of credit. If we can continue like that, we'll all keep our jobs. And not just keep our jobs, but will help Ghana to grow and improve. This year, because I assume that we are all new, I've not been that, I don't want to use the word hard, but now you know your job, you know the challenges. So next year we are going to be sprinting. Next year we are not going to be walking, we are not going to be crawling. And next year I'm going to implement a lot of ambitious reforms.
The National Premix Secretariat has expressed worry against the misuse of premix fuel, urging individuals to stop hoarding the subsidized fuel above government-approved prices. Administrator Nana Asari says government subsidizes premix fuel for fishermen as meant to be sold at affordable prices. However, the Secretariat has introduced measures to curb misuse, including digitizing the selling process. Fishermen are required to present an association card to purchase premix fuel. The government has also launched an automated fuel dispensing system to track sales and prevent diversion. The misuse of premix fuel has led to calls for its scrapping, with Petroleum Downstream Sector Reforms Committee citing systemic diversion and corruption. The committee recommends redirecting savings to develop fishing communities.
No, what on in fast album or there will keep 53%. Na what they input to Juma our mana or woman. In the program, I have a share premix our new tax and the amount of funds are accumulate in terms of deductions for the community development. But here, I think I've been very impressed with the new Takrady landing beach. We received 11 consignments this year, and each of the 11 consignments will keep 5,300 cedis. That's 53% of the proceeds for the community. Now, the mistake is KDR. Or the Oman and district assembly and Fairphone will we'll meet na washer Puntujuma Obotumazaye or cut across in Yama Bebre or to me health projects, maybe chips compound, another clinic, another education. Maybe I'm out on there wasn't the school. Maybe so there. I think I went to one community there, one premix community development fund. Where they see the only dining hall in that school. So imagine there, premix the home for today in Yoha. I mean, these communities would have had some development dividends.
You are John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency. Wama Yata said a reset country. There should be transparency and accountability.
Traders in La Paz have taken a significant step towards maintaining a cleaner environment as Christmas approaches. As part of a nationwide initiative, they've embarked on a sanitation drive to keep their market tidy. The effort is part of the government's National Sanitation Week, which kicked off on December 13th and runs until December 20th. The initiative aims to promote collective responsibility and community action to improve environmental cleanliness. The Accra Metropolitan Assembly has also launched a one-week cleanup exercise across the capital to boost sanitation and keep the city clean ahead of Christmas festivities.
Last week Saturday Krampon, yes, a prapra na Nandra so kitu ebi atoyen. Efi bola le fisuri say. Omo pia, omo hwie gunsuo ne muntin. I said en so ta etaye na teten te se yehwe. Se yanhwe a enko. Te se yehwe a na ya sori ne yehwe na. Se Nandra so na atoyen na push bola. Omo de bola be gumu ana ni na betan. Otana pe be ba ya pra betana ba bola ka namba. Sana mayentu mi am pranza sana.
Right. About how you feel, but I'm on the point. I'm proud. Some of the back sell this house and this other bit my boy, with my shena. I'm a sissy. I sweat my come on. Buy my quite chumukono, Umuyebi say, Rapano, be store. I have to be say 10 to my 10 to 12. Tell me about me.
Go so best say, Guasa, I can't so mefa. Tomo mefa, Guasa, to say. Would the bottle be now with their covers, now with the boy to say the bay and from an boy and buy a shoe. Post says so could be so be any name. Into on Shadan country, so they did junk for saying who's a whoosh, your ball a gumoa. Ye bet you what? I'm saying no bad boy. I'm on mom, yes, and edge. On my one is here and see how I'm between. Bye. Oh, say Nipa de door, so I drain in your back. A boo are be planning, mobile so by our shedder. So. Nti obia ne send any neatness asitie ye nye night no uba na pa no wapra ukofie nso a obepra obola nti bola ka makra ye de mo kada na etuaka because he ya na edidi
national sanitation no last week I think Saturday no yeah ne MC na nkasa na shase a match 5 o'clock ye ko wie ne na ko bo 3 the MC na nkasa apa no be boa ye ama ye prapra ha ni na as you can see we say ha na kwan no emu da ho space demo a chese ha ni na no okay the middle of the road no hwe echi on ma ya dodo ho no ni na yi o prapra ho ba na metimi aka fa enwura we ni kakra no say passengers and drivers and one more use vehicles no omu twem no mo ko I think say enema bi omu di wo mo ka mu no o say etimi yes ncheche yi nanka etimi to masum say bibia na bola bia obeye wo ka mu no ma nenka wo ka ni mu na udu fi a weyi na sa obehye o sa obeto atwene wetimi ato atwene but say wo to atokwan ni mu no I think say there's no one responsible for that say o to nra ne to kwan ni mu a obeba be free kwan ni mu de ato be bi ya ma de bia ye prahaba every 2 weeks bia ye yesia market ya no as a sanitation day ye de cleaning aseni na se bibia edeko every 2 weeks and no mostly en twen crampo ma national sanitation in do na ya kasa asa se enti no yeda municipal na say waboa ye.
Joseph Kwajo Ofori, chairperson of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, KJB branch of the Ghana Trades Union Congress, has urged drivers to exercise patience and care during and after the Christmas season. Speaking to the Ghana News Agency in KJB, Mr. Ofori said Christmas is a season of celebration, stressing the need of transporting passengers safely to their destinations. He noted that the Yuletide period sees an upsurge in road traffic and accident cases across the country. Excessive speeding, reckless overtaking, and driving under the influence of alcohol are major causes of festive season accidents, he said. Mr. Ofori advised drivers to strictly adhere to road traffic regulations, observe approved speed limits, and ensure their vehicles are roadworthy. He also urged drivers to cooperate with the Motor Traffic and Transport Department of the Ghana Police Service and other security agencies deployed to ensure road safety. Passengers, he added, have a role to play by discouraging reckless driving and reporting irresponsible drivers. Mr. Ofori concluded by wishing all drivers and passengers a peaceful and accident-free Yuletide celebration. In business, the Minister for Finance, Dr. Kaiser Atoforsen, has called for the boards of the Bank of Ghana to remain functional despite changes in government, warning that frequent disruptions following elections are affecting the central bank's operations. According to him, delays in reconstituting the bank's board after elections undermine effective governance and continuity at the institution. Speaking on the floor of Parliament, the Finance Minister stressed that the Bank of Ghana must be insulated from political transitions and allowed to operate without interruption. Drawing from personal experience, Dr. Forson noted that he previously served on the Bank of Ghana board and stopped attending meetings after a change in government, believing his role was tied to the representation of the finance minister. Dr. Forson emphasized the need to give the Bank of Ghana the attention and stability required to effectively carry out its mandate regardless of political changes. Still on business, the Executive Board of the International Monetary Fund has approved Ghana's 5th program review under the IMF-supported program. This followed a meeting held on December 17th in Washington to assess key benchmarks and targets under the programs. The board took this decision based on the significant progress made under the program in relation to the 5th review. The staff report is expected to be released in the coming hours, providing further details on Ghana's performance under the program, as well as concerns the fund may have about the economy. The development could lead to the IMF board authorizing the disbursement of about $380 million to the Bank of Ghana. This expectation is based on Ghana's current performance under the IMF program and progress in meeting agreed reforms. Market analysis says securing board approval will significantly boost donor and investor confidence. The decision is expected to send a strong signal to both local and international investors. Government officials have also assured the market that fiscal discipline will be maintained after Ghana exits the IMF program in May 2026. While concerns persist about the risks of unsustainable spending, sources insist that Ghana's current performance demonstrates a strong commitment to prudent economic management. To further strengthen investor confidence, the government is reportedly considering subscribing to one of the IMF's policy instruments. Officials believe this will provide an additional signal of stability and reassure markets that fiscal discipline will be sustained. The IMF has acknowledged Ghana's progress in laying the foundation for post-program fiscal discipline. Speaking at a conference, IMF Director of Communication highlighted a revamped fiscal responsibility framework, the establishment of an independent fiscal council, and improvement in public financial management. On October 10th, the IMF announced a rich staff-level agreement with Ghana after a 2-week mission to assess economic development. Once the board review is completed, Ghana will gain access to 267.5 million, approximately 385 million, bringing total IMF financial support since May 2023 to 1,975.5 million, about 2.83 billion. The IMF staff report also commended Ghana's program in debt restructuring, fiscal consolidation, energy sector reforms, foreign exchange operations, and financial sector resilience. To sports, Black Queens head coach Kim Lassa has expressed satisfaction with the progress of the team in 2025. The Swedish tactician took charge in February after replacing Nora, who left to coach Zambia women's national team. Under his guidance, the Black Queens clinched a bronze medal at the Women's African Cup of Nations, securing qualification for the next edition of the tournament. Ghana wrapped up the year with a narrow 1-0 friendly loss to England at St. Mary's Stadium in Southampton. Lars and his players will now turn their attention to the 2026 Women African Cup of Nations in March. In showbiz, ahead of the highly anticipated Zama Disco concert scheduled for December 21st, Ghanaian musician Black Sherif, known as Blacko, visited the University of Ghana to meet Vice Chancellor Professor Nanaba Appiah. During the courtesy call, Black Sherif discussed potential collaborations with the School of Performing Arts and explored initiatives aimed at promoting youth development, creative expression, and student engagement. Professor Nanaba welcomed the visit, noting that partnerships with industry leaders will provide students with invaluable exposure and practical experience. She stressed the university's commitment to fostering innovation and creative expression among its students. The Zama Disco concert, set to take place at the University of Ghana, is expected to attract a large audience, further strengthening the link between the university community and Ghana's vibrant music scene. Black Sherif's visit reflects a growing trend of Ghanaian universities engaging with prominent figures in the art and entertainment sector to inspire and mentor students while showcasing their potential of creative industries as a tool for youth empowerment. And that's how we draw curtains on the morning news update. Thank you so much for making time with me. Don't forget to log on to all streaming platforms as well as logging on to our website at www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more news updates. I am Deborah Adoso. Good morning.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Every occasion demands the company of good music that fits the purpose. At GTR Sounds, we understand your need to create just the right atmosphere for your wedding or engagement, party, funeral, crusade, political campaign or rally, or just any other event, as well as executive and corporate functions. With our modern and high-quality spinning machines, mixers, microphones, and power amplifiers, binary speakers, and subs, we offer the highest of sound quality and music play at events and functions. At GTR Sounds, we have a team of seasoned and highly experienced sound engineers who understand just the right choice of music for your event. Locate our studios at Aponchi Hotel in Anya or call our numbers 054-8522-897 or 027-3363-973. You can also reach via our email sounds@GhanaTalksRadio.com. At GTR Sounds, we take care of your event.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Every occasion demands the company of good music that fits the purpose. At GTR Sounds, we understand your need to create just the right atmosphere for your wedding or engagement, party, funeral, crusade, political campaign or rally, or just any other event, as well as executive and corporate functions. With our modern and high-quality spinning machines, mixers, microphones, and power amplifiers, binary speakers, and subs, we offer the highest of sound quality and music play at events and functions. At GTR Sounds, we have a team of seasoned and highly experienced sound engineers who understand just the right choice of music for your event. Locate our studios at Aponchi Hotel in Anya or call our numbers 054-8522-897 or 027-3363-973. You can also reach via our email sounds@GhanaTalksRadio.com. At GTR Sounds, we take care of your event.
Good morning to you once again, lovely listeners of Ghana Talks Radio. You are welcome to the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. And as you know it, I am your host, Ruth Esinam Fiagbedu. And I must say that we just can't wait to dive into the main topics for this morning that we have arranged for you this morning. And then, as you know it, we come with knowledgeable guests who are going to dive into the issues and share their perspective and opinions on the issues on board. To get interactive, we are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, and also we are streaming live on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio. You can send in your comments. Let's get interactive. I promise to read them. Right. So joining me this morning in the studio, yes, is Mr. Jatta Nelson, who is a youth activist and also a social commentator. Good morning, Mr. Jatta. Hope you don't mind if I call you Jatta.
Just go with Jatta. Jatta is fine by the way.
So you don't want Mr.?
No. Just
Why?
Jatta.
Why don't you like Mr.?
I'm not a fan of titles. You know, Ghana, we overemphasize titles, and then we follow the titles, and the people carry no substance. So I am
really?
not a fan of I'm not a fan of.
But
titles.
you carry substance.
Of course I do.
But you just don't want the title.
No. I show working. I don't talk much.
So you don't mind? You don't find it rude if someone just call you by your name?
I mean, that's my name.
Nelson.
That's my name.
Jata.
That's my name.
Oh no, they have to put some respect on your name.
No. When they respect you, when you command respect, you'll be given respect.
You'll be given respect. Yes. I wish everybody was like you. Because there are some people, you don't call my name like that.
Really?
Yes.
They take offense in that. Especially those with a lot of degrees, PhD, doctor. I mean, I get what you are saying. I get what you are saying.
I said, like, one boy, why like you've committed a great sin.
Yeah.
So they'll ask you. I don't know if you've had this encounter before where you go for programs and then they're acknowledging people and then they are like, oh, we have in our Mr. Then you see that the MC will come back and be like, hey,
sorry for the
Asuma,
mistake.
They say he's not Mr. He's a professor, doctor, professor.
I tell you.
She said those titles are very, very, very important for these people.
Yeah.
But anyways, Obian in your pay.
True.
For the fact that he said you don't want it, so you want it, Jata.
Just Jata, I'm fine. Thank you very much, Esenam.
All right. Jata, isn't it scary? And because Jata is known to be lion, something
lion.
fierce. Should I say dangerous as well?
No, you can't say dangerous.
Oh, Jata is not related to
No,
anything.
I'm harmless.
But you know Jata is lion.
Yeah, Jata
and you know
is
lion, they are very dangerous.
No, lions I wouldn't agree with you if you say a lion is dangerous, but then the lion is known for its braveness.
Its braveness.
Yes,
so you would say it's bravery.
Very bravery to comfort and to confront danger and to overcome all sorts of oppression. That's what the lion stands for.
Oh, I see. That's nice. Anyway, so far so good. I'm now meeting you, so permit me to say Happy New Month to you.
Thank you very much. It's
right.
a privilege to meet you as well.
Yeah. It's nice meeting you. How is the system treating you? Are you feeling the Christmas vibe?
First and foremost, permit me to acknowledge the viewers and the millions of well-meaning Ghanaians that are watching us online and following us. We appreciate their audience. And also, today happens to be the birthday of my MP, Honorable Frank Efriye of the Afajato South District. Oh, wow. Sorry, Afajato South constituency. So I just want to take this opportunity to wish him a happy birthday. You know, he's one of the young MPs that are putting in a lot of effort when it comes to youth development, infrastructure development. He's doing a lot, and then he's actually pushing for Afajato to be that tourism hub. You know, we have Tafiatum, Monkey Century, and all of that. So he's really doing a lot for the constituency. So, Honorable, I'm just wishing you a happy birthday. I pray for God's strength for you. Maunerawe, Neleweda Si, Nekla for Majanyu, Ekema Delopa for Tao, Nele Kpenezuga, Nela Makpanezuga. Everything is going to be all right. Honorable MP, we love you so much. And on behalf of all the people of Afajata South constituency, we are honored and privileged to have you as our MP. So thank you, my MP.
The language.
You were asking me about the Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's Christmas. I could feel the Christmas energy all around. I mean.
Oh, you can?
All in town, yeah.
Yes, it's Kanikomo.
Says who?
Aye. Then
just this week they reduced transportation, and you know, so the government.
Oh, just this week.
Yeah. Transportation has been reduced. Have you not
again? Or fuel prices rather.
And transportation.
I know fuel prices have come down, but I don't know
so
for transportation.
Once fuel prices come down, it does translate into reduction in fuel.
And you believe these vehicle owners will actually
this morning I paid lesser than I picked the trotro. And then I paid lesser than what I used to pay. Just 50 pesos difference, but it's significant.
Yeah, it is. Oh, that's nice. I didn't know that. I know for fuel prices have gone down, but I didn't know transportation fares have also gone down equally.
Yeah, it does.
Oh.
I think yesterday the various drivers unions in town, they had a meeting, and then they came out with a new charge sheet for the various transportation networks. Maybe you pick Uber or you drive, so you do not get to experience.
Not yet. But
you are not Uber. Like the average Ghanaian. You pick Uber, right? And you drive.
Oh,
unlike us.
Oh, I don't. Oh, I'm not. Oh, amen for prophesying my life.
Because the fact that you cannot relate to what I'm saying, I'm even sure you can relate to the hardship Ghanaians have experienced
Hey,
before.
please, so I'm a normal girl. I beg, don't let my destiny helpers run away from me, please. I beg, Chocho. Mr. Jata, you want to give me allegation this morning?
Oh no.
I pick Chocho. I'm a Chosky girl. I'm a Chosky girl.
Cool,
Yeah, I'm a very simple person.
Cool, I can tell.
Very simple person. But if I'm extremely tired,
you pick Uber.
Oh
wow.
I can't come and kill myself.
There's no pleasure in suffering.
Of course, I can't come and kill myself. If I'm too tired and then alighting at the junction and walking all the way down to the house is I find it too stressful for myself. I'll just order a ride and then
it's not that much.
So that doesn't mean that you have to kill yourself.
Right. I get it.
Anyways. The conversations have already started and I'm finding it interesting. Right. So for just by the ways, before we have our NPP communicator join us in the studios, there have been some concern raised by the minority in Parliament. And this time around, the one speaking on behalf of the minority is Asefwa, who is criticizing the government over what they describe as the serious inconsistency surrounding the lithium agreement. And then they are calling for the lands minister, Mr. Emmanuel Kofi-Boah, to resign. What do you make of this? Do you think that this should actually be a concrete reason why this man should resign as the lands minister?
I mean, just before I come to that topic, the behavior of some of the minority MPs is becoming unbecoming. And a lot of Ghanaians are even calling for the minority MPs, some of them that do come and try to disrupt national or parliament business from getting into process. A lot of people are even calling for they themselves to resign. And so I found that comment by Asafua very, very unfounded and guided, and it's not rooted in any sense of goodwill for the ordinary Ghanaian, because the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, without any matter of doubt, is performing up to task. And if you ask me, when you look at the efforts that he's putting in combating galamsey, it's clear that he's doing his work. Just last week, I think somewhere around December 9th, NAIMOS, together with the Lands Commission and some other task force, they carried an operation in the Western North region, along the BR River. And then they discovered that there was a hidden mining concession deep within the forest. That illegal mining was ongoing so many years now. And then they invaded the site. They were able to confiscate materials. And then they arrested 9 Chinese nationals at the end of the operation. And some other local miners, they got intel, so they managed to escape. But still, the Chinese illegal miners, who were actually those in charge of the operations on the site, were arrested. And also, funny enough, would you believe that someone tried to bribe the NAIMOS tax force 2.7 million Ghana cedis to release the galamsey victims? 2.7 million Ghana cedis. This is from the NAIMOS tax force report on the operation that was carried out on December the 9th.
So what did they do?
They did not. They didn't tend to accept that offer.
But do you trust that?
Yeah. If they did not, if they don't, I mean, if not something they are doing, they wouldn't come out to say that someone called us on an anonymous caller came and then made a proposal for us to release the victims. I don't believe they would go on such a tangent, and it's a matter of, because Ghanaians in coming days would also be looking forward with how far with those investigations. And those Chinese 9 individuals have also been brought to Accra, the headquarters, for further investigations to be carried on. So the last minister is performing. I find it very, very sad that Isafo and others are making this call. And if it is about the lithium deal, let us understand the situation about the lithium deal here.
Right.
So the lithium deal is such that in the year 2006, the Minerals and Mining Act was established, which is Act 703, Section 25. And that act speaks about the rate of royalties. In that very act, it stated that the royalties should be between 3% and 6%. That should be the rate of royalties. That's
what they stated.
The Constitution stated
right.
in 2006.
Okay.
And then in 2010, there was an amendment. Okay. And in that amendment, known as Act 794, it stated that the rate of royalties should be established at 5%. 5%. So now, when and then in 2015, another framework for mining and concerning royalties was also established again, known as the Act 900. And now this Act 900, there are two things that it does. It allows for the royalties, it sets the royalties not at a fixed rate. For the Act, the established one in 2015, which is the Act 900, it does not fix the royalty rate at a specific rate, but it gives credence to the previous rate that was established, which means that this time around the minister can be able to negotiate on royalty rates, but because there is an established, which is the 5%, the minister cannot. It will be unconstitutional for them to increase it beyond that.
Unless
and
they
also, we all know that the previous government negotiated the lithium deal at 10%.
Yes.
And the reason why the lithium, it's delayed the mining of the lithium. Look at all these years that we've been spending on this lithium deal, and that is simply because it was unconstitutional. So the company involved, which is known as Barari DV Ghana Limited, the company stated that there is a global decline in lithium prices, and it is also unconstitutional because the constitution is saying that the rate of royalty shouldn't exceed 5%. And that is the royalty rate for all the mineral resources we have. Gold, bauxite, that is the rate. So as it stands now, the only thing that can be done is for Parliament to go back and then enact an act that can enable the royalty rates to be, let's say, from 10% to 12% or 15%. That room should be created so that we can say, okay, with the lithium deal, we can do 10%. Or in subsequent times, we can do 12%, 13%, and up to 15%. Because when we prolong these cases, the development is still starving and the mineral is going to be there.
Right.
So that is the whole issue surrounding the lithium deal. And it is just so good of the Parliament to come to a unanimous consensus that this deal, we can no longer honor this 5% rate of royalties. Looking at the fact that the local communities need development, and then we can't continue to be selling our minerals or giving our minerals out and then be gaining just 5%. It is too little. But it is also a matter of legality. So it's not to be transferred on emotions. So it's just processes that are ongoing. And Parliament has even agreed to withdraw this deal, consult the relevant stakeholders so that they can come and then re-establish a new act, and then a new contract or new rate of royalty will be set regarding the lithium deal. So when you look at all these efforts that they are doing, and then someone says that the minister should resign just because, what did the minister do? I don't even understand.
I wanted to ask what is the issue of the inconsistency he cited?
And what's the inconsistency he cited? I'm sure he's referring to the fact that the 10% has been brought down to 5%.
But didn't he read the Constitution himself?
He is a lawyer, funny enough. But you see, that is the attitude of the minority caucus as we speak. Because they do not have the numbers in Parliament, they tend to engage in conversations or attitudes that would undermine the efforts of the current government. In fact, the minority in Parliament now is on the main agenda to ensure that the government of the day is being painted black. So the slightest opportunity they will get, they will try to paint the government black. But funny enough, the government is also not giving them the opportunity. Because whilst you are criticizing them, they are still performing. Whilst you are trying to disturb or prevent parliamentary discussions from going on, Parliament is still working. The last sitting in Parliament where we witnessed the members of the minority caucus hitting tables, trying to cause chaos in the house. And this is not the first time. Even in January, 22nd January, during the vetting of the appointees, we all saw what happened, where they destroyed tables, destroyed Parliament, equipment, and all of that. So this is just a clear situation of what they are known for. And even whilst they were trying to prevent business from ongoing, appropriation bills were still being signed, and Parliament was still functioning amidst all the chaos they were causing. So now it's like division of labor in Parliament. The minority has proven to Ghanaians that they are on a path to ensure that Parliament will not perform the mandate which the people elected them to do. And then the majority caucus is also, on the other hand, seeing to it that with their super majority and the mandate Ghanaians has given to them, they will also set their foot on the ground and ensure that they set the reset agenda in motion, and they shall continue to deliver. So this is the division of labor that is happening currently in Parliament. So I'm not surprised by that comment, just that for the sake of clarity, it is unfounded and we shouldn't encourage such occurrences in our politics.
Right. But should it be the case that we have to lease our minerals and then get peanuts in return? What is preventing us from doing it ourselves and then keeping the whole benefits right here in the country?
Okay, so one thing about, no country thrives by its own resources that much, because in as much as we have the natural resources, we may not have the human capacity, we may not have the technical know-how, we may not have the necessary equipment. And mind you, to begin this as a nation, it means we must start somewhere. We must first of all invest. We must invest massively into educations regarding minerals, how we can get to mine minerals, and how to ensure the sustainable, the environment is kept, the environment is not distracted despite the mining of this minerals. And then also another thing that will also be is the cost involved. So it's going to overburden government at the start. That is the main reason why the government needs to collaborate with ready investors. And lithium mining is something that it's a new discovery in Ghana. Just for the viewers out there, it's the site is in Mankesim, Central Region. So it's a new discovery, and the people are eager to see the development because we all are aware that it is going to bring some sort of economic benefits, which is certain. But then we do not have the means as it stands now as a country to go into that large scale mining, given the equipment that is involved. It's an expensive venture.
So it's something.
And another thing that will also affect, or that makes that a bit disturbing, is the transition of government. Because we have situations where a government comes into power, they start an agenda, and then by the time they leave office, the next government will not continue the agenda. So all these things makes it a bit disturbing for us to have such a progressive discourse on mining. But in the future, what we are looking forward to see is that, given the investment so far we are making in education, we have a University of Mines and Technology. In coming days, we will have the human capacity, the technical know-how, and then we can begin to invest and then start mining our own minerals and claim full ownership of our own natural resources.
I think that will help us as a country, and it will go a long way into helping us develop the country, investing into more infrastructure and also expanding the factories that will be processing these minerals that we have as a country. Right. So let's look at this briefly before we dive into the main discussion for today. So this is coming from Kojo Ponkuma, who is accusing the NDC of intimidating judges in Mandai election ruling. Do you see it as such?
How were the judges even intimidated in the first place? Look, my sister, I keep on saying this, and I shall continue saying it, that the minority is frustrated. And so they are bringing their frustrations into propaganda. That's the pathway and the channel in which they are sending their frustration. And it is clear. The same courts that they call the kangaroo courts, when the first ruling came on November 24th, which suggests that the rerun should be conducted in 30 days. And then the clerk of parliament served the electoral commission the notice of vacancy. We all remember that they said the court is kangaroo. But when the ruling came out yesterday, squashing the conduction of the election, they were now celebrating. So I will not agree to that. And it is an unfair comment.
Coming from Kojo Pong.
Yeah. It's very, very unfair.
Right.
And now, I see no such intimidation.
Yeah. And now the issue has been sent to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has ordered the EC to halt the rerun election. What are your expectations for the outcome of the results from the Supreme Court?
I am particularly excited about the fact that the Supreme Court has been able to make such a decision. I believe that it will first and foremost ease the tension in Pandai and then the political tension ongoing between the two parties. But it also reminds us of the dignity that has been restored to our judicial systems.
Yes.
Because we have a case where an NDC MP takes a case to court, the court makes a ruling, and then a minority MP now seeks an appeal. And then the court, which is functioning under an NDC government, now makes a ruling which does not seemingly favor an NDC government. Because we've had instances where cases go to the court against the government, and it becomes as though you can't take the government to the court and win the government in the court. Because at a point in time, we all can attest to the fact that former President Nana Akufo-Addo Dankwa filled the bench with his people. So it was nearly impossible to win any case against the state. But now, the dynamics have changed, and it clearly restores that sort of dignity to our judicial system, that it doesn't matter who is involved, it doesn't matter how the case is, or the constitution is going to be respected. But then, this question of the, I want to clarify that the court is only saying that the election shouldn't come on the 30th of December.
But definitely the rerun will still come on.
No, we can't tell for whether the rerun is going to come on or not.
Right.
But what the court is saying is that the issues or challenges compounding around the election should be solved before a further action should be taken. That is what the court is saying. So if the court comes back again in their next hearing and then finally completes the case, and then they declare again that a new election should be conducted, then definitely we shall go into a new election.
Interesting. Right. And I must say that we have joining us in the studio this morning is the NPP communications team member, Mr. Kingsley Aqua. Good morning, Mr. Kingsley.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
How has it been?
By the grace of God and by the prayers of Ghanaians as well, we are doing well.
You are doing well.
Very well.
Hope everything is fine.
By the grace.
You are not too stressed.
No.
Everything is okay.
Now, Pandai has released a lot of stress on the minority. So
first it was stressful for you?
Yes, it was stressful because we were all looking at rule of law. And indeed, we have achieved what we intend for. And I was doing the listening, and my brother made a comment that initially President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo filled the judiciary with his people. But let me make that clear. That is untrue. And even this current government has appointed 73 judges into the judicial system. So looking at it, who have filled the judicial system with his people. So that perception of a government will come into power and fill the judicial system with its people should be debunked. And we are looking at rule of law, no matter the government. We are looking at it, say the judiciary will be on its own, and when a case is being taken to court, the freedom of justice and the rule of law must work. So indeed, Pandai has released some stress on us, and my greetings to my able Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, the one that to lead the new Patriotic Party for Power 2028. Indeed, he is a great man and he is doing well. And once again, my greetings to my MP, Honorable Frank Anodompreh. In fact, he is the nightmare of the majority in Parliament.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because there are a lot of you.
No, you see, there are a lot, but he is now the
gang leader.
We have Honorable Afenyo Markins being the minority leader as well. He is the minority chief whip. And when you look at the parliamentary proceedings, indeed, we all can attest to it. Ghanaians can attest to the fact that indeed the member of parliament for Insawama Region, Honorable Frank Anodompreh, is doing marvelously well in parliament for the entire country, and there is no doubt about it. And I'm saying that because Mustafa Gbandi sat on one of your sister stations and declared that from Pandai they are coming to Insawam and they are coming to take that seat as well.
Then these people are coming for you.
That is the ignorance of the NDC, if I may say, because looking at in some instance or in some case, it was the only election that went to 5 different courts, including the Supreme Court. And a ruling has been made at Kofodia High Court.
So they should just give up.
They should just give up. They lost the Insalma Dredge seat massively, though it wasn't a huge number, but indeed they've lost the vote. We won by 207 votes. It's just a slim margin, but the court, in its own wisdom, has declared and made a ruling that indeed the PC for the NDC during the 2024 general election in Insalma Dredge, lost the election, that he should rather find a place to sit. Indeed, the court even found the NDC candidate 25,000 Ghana cedis. So now, my dear, he has not been able to pay.
Yeah,
he has not been able to pay. Yes, yes.
Right.
So, greetings to your viewers as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you too for joining us.
Thank you once again.
Right. On that note, since we have all people seated, let's dive into the discussion. So for our first topic has to do with the NPP internal elections and other related matters. So the new Patriotic Party is going through its preparation for its internal election, a process which is meant to reorganize the party after recent political setbacks and prepare it for the future. While party leaders say the elections will strengthen unity and rebuild structures, concerns have been raised about internal divisions, transparency, leadership renewal, and lessons from the past election. So the outcome and the conduct of these internal contexts are shaping conversations about the NPP's directions going forward. Right. Mr. Akwa, this one day I'll be on you.
No problem.
Because it's for you. Yeah. So the NPP, how prepared are you for this particular internal election you're about to hold to, elect your presidential candidates for the 2028 elections?
Well, thank you once again, and thank you to my co-panelists as well.
Yeah.
And,
Mr. Jata.
and I would like to say the new Patriotic Party is fully prepared. Yes, for this election. And we are all looking up to one particular person, which is Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. In fact, the man is so competent, credible, winnable candidate, a very respectful man, a leader who think about the entire country, who think about Ghanaians, who think about the youth. The future of this country based on the youth, because let's say 20, 30 years to come, the youth are going to be those people who will take charge of the country. So looking at Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia from 2017 down the line to 2024, before the new Patriotic Party lost the election, his policies for this country has always been the youth. Because when you think about the old age, we are not saying the old age are not important, but when you focus much on the old age, it might not help the country. But his focus, his policies are centered on the grassroots, on the youth. So, meaning that Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia has a very great vision for this country, that the new Patriotic Party should look at that and vote for him on 31st January 2026, making him the flag bearer of the NPP, so that we can all go for power in 2028. Because I'm saying this because the other contestants should look at it from that angle. Yes, indeed, we are all patriotic people, we are all NPP people, and I am saying this to the other contestants because they all knew the credibility of Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, because they were all supporting him in 2023 when we went for the primaries. All these candidates were supporting him. So now we should ask ourselves that what has changed? Is it for personal interest? Because in just 4 years you were supporting him. So what has changed? You give him the massive support. So what has changed? Is it personal interest, or we are all looking at it that we get some power or position? No. Now, it is not about position. but it is about who is ready and who is able or who will be able to do the work. Who is able to now save Ghanaians from this ditch that the NDC has, lured the entire country into. Because now the youth of this country are not happy. I must be frank with you. They are not happy because the NDC government coming into power, they promised the youth jobs. They promised them, some other enticing policies that the whole country, the youths are looking at it to say, yes, then we should vote for them. And yes, they voted. But now that they are in government, we see clearly that they've scammed the entire country. What they said during their campaign, they have not been able to implement even a quarter of it, if I may say. Because now, there are some policies that Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia put on board that this current administration of the NDC are really enjoying in it. I quite remember when we were registering people under the Ghana Card program. Yes, we have prominent people in the NDC who spoke against it. That is says is whatever, Ghanaians should desist from registering and other stuff. But now, my dear, the Ghana Card has become the solely international card in this country. Now, this government is saying that even when you are going to renew your lances, you are going to renew whatever that it is, you need to submit your Ghana Card. Ghana Card was the idea, the policy of Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, and Ghanaians can attest to it. The ruling government can attest to it. There are so many things, the port free. There are so many things that I can mention. So, internally, the New Patriotic Party should look at these great ideas. Now, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, the NPP is not in power, but Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia has 33 policies now working in this NDC government, and they cannot say no to that. There's no doubt about it. So that shows the credibility and the ability of Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, even when he was a vice president. He has been the competent vice president and the most knowable vice president that we know. Now this ruling government, their vice president Jean now whatever it is, you don't even see what she's doing. You don't even hear he's implementing or he's doing this.
What do you want her to do? But we've seen her at programs launching initiatives and all of that.
It's not launching any initiative. What they know
so
is that
renaming. It's
not me. It's not me. The entire country is not satisfied with her performance. Yes, the entire country. I must be frank with you, and Ghanaians, have this in mind that this current vice president, is some way. I don't know how to put it. I don't want to use a word that they may say I've used a harsh word on her. Yeah. So Ghanaians are not satisfied with her performance. They are not. But we are talking about a certified vice president that even as we are not in government, his policies are working. So the other aspirants that are also contesting Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia internally, they should all pack back, then give their support to Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, because that is what we did for President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. That's what we did for His Excellency the former President Kufuor. We did that, and we know that you cannot just say when you have an item that you want to sell, you cannot just say you go to the market just one day and all got finished. No, you need to be persistent, and that is what we need to do. So Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, for now, within the NPP, remain the credible person, the competent person, the winnable candidate, the very respectful man leader that the entire party, the base, the grassroots, the youth, the old age, they all believe in Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia because his policies are solid, firm, and very productive.
Yes. Thank you. Well said. I wanted to say Mr. Jatta, but you just permit me to say Mr. Jatta for the sake of formality.
No, I prefer Jatta. So it's also formal. I make it formal. So
okay.
Jatta.
Jatta.
Yeah, listen up.
What can you say to the MPP's preparation for their election, their internal election? Do you see any sort of unity or readiness for the election?
SNM,
Yes.
as a matter of fact, no matter how you package shame, it can never appear to be glory. And no matter how you rebrand disgrace, it can never be seen as grace. My brother sat here on this platform to say that President John Dramani Mahama has made more appointments to the courts than any other person. But I want to correct him because I assume he doesn't know. Truthfully speaking, and for the sake of facts, President Akufo-Addo Dankwa appointed over 500 judges to the court when he was president, about 60 plus to the Court of Appeal. And the Supreme Court, he packed the Supreme Court with 13 judges. And that is the highest amount of judges that has been ever appointed by any president. Check the records. The highest number of judges ever appointed by any president to an apex court. 13 judges. President Akufo-Addo did all that just to maneuver his way so that we had a case where unanimous FC, you cannot win a case against the government. That is fine. But now there is a change. Now our court systems and judicial systems are very, very streamlined and fair and very, very, their integrity has been restored. Now my brother is trying to package Dr. Bawumia for Ghanaians as he is that person with, competence. But as a matter of fact, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the most incompetent, inept, and most clueless leader that Ghana has ever had in history. And I say this on grounds and authority because this man came and branded himself as the man of digitalization, a man of integrity, and he is the economic messiah. But what was his performance? The promise he gave and the performance that he has performed, there is a large disconnect. And that is what I'm going to prove to my brother right now. Now, let me talk about the economy. When Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia came, he took the dollar from 3.2 cedis to what? 17 Ghana cedis. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia took inflation as high as 54%. Today we are experiencing inflation of 6.3. Today the dollar is around 11 cedis. So how can you tell me Dr. Bawumia is even competent in the first place? Now, it was under the same Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia that said he is the man of digitalization. He's going to bring Ghana card. The Ghana card that he brought is a good policy, undisputed.
Yes.
But the manner in which the data was collected, there are people that are still facing data mismatch. I am a critical example. I had to go back and do my Ghana card again. The SIM re-registration that was conducted under Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, do you know that the Minister of Communication is still suggesting that we are going to do a SIM re-registration again? And that is simply because the data that they collected, they failed to verify it against the data of the National Identification Authority system. So the data that was collected was not authenticated. That is why it wasn't. That's why we are going to do a SIM registration again, and that clearly tells the failure of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And this same person, whilst the country was going through tough times, while Ghanaians were complaining about the hostile financial environment, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia enforced and implemented the e-levy, thereby overburdening small businesses and digital financial inclusion. This is what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia did. He went ahead to cut e-levy cake. Do you know that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia promised us that he will not take us to IMF? Were you not there? When he said Ghana will not be taken to the IMF because we have what it takes, because Ghana has money, because he has the way to arrest the dollar and turn the economy up into something better. We ended up with the IMF. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, it was under his leadership that inflation skyrocketed, and then even to an extent that Ghana actually got out of the international capital market. And then we defaulted on our debts. And then again, that is how can we arrive at the hostile and painful domestic debt restructuring program, which became a headache for so many pensioners. So Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is just a categorical experience of failure. He's an institutional example of what we define as what? Failure. So I will not allow my brother here sit down and tell Ghanaians that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia holds any promise for the future. I do not see any future under Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia because he had this time. We have all witnessed his leadership. We all saw what he did when he was president. And we can all attest to it. If not for the fact that my brother here is just doing a political agenda and trying to push his party against the interest of the nation, he would have attested to the fact that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is incompetent. Therefore, let us unite and not allow this man come close to power ever and ever again. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia told us that Ghana is beyond aid. Are we beyond aid? It was even under him that we took more loans than ever before. These people have failed to even be able to manage the system effectively. And as a matter of fact, under their leadership, we had over 110 ministers. We had over 110 ministers. Today, it is good to announce that we have just 58 ministers that are even overperforming than the 110 ministers they had during their time. So how can you sit here and convince me or the ordinary Ghanaian that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is somebody that we should look up to or somebody that holds promise for the future? Ghana is on a path of reset and our future is bright. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will not be allowed close to power again, because under him, Ghana will only retrogress. Under Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Ghana will not get to the promised land. Everything that John Dramani Mahama is building right now, if the NPP come back to power again, do you know what they are going to do?
What will they do?
They will now send us back to class 1 again. And that is what they keep doing from time to time. NDC build, NPP destroy. Sure. NDC build, NPP destroy. That is why Ghanaians gave them the most humiliating political defeat in the history of Ghana. Because Ghanaians have come to the realization that the NPP is only chasing their personal interests. The NPP is a stomach direction political party where they appoint their friends and family into government, where they amass wealth. We have all witnessed the scandals. I can list over 120 scandals without even taking a pause. And that is simply because we have had the most corrupt, the most inept, the most clueless, the most atrocious, the most ferocious government ever in the history of Ghana. So Ghanaians, my brother here should not come and push that agenda at all, that we should allow Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia come where and do what? Talking about unemployment. We are all in this country. Look at how people were suffering in this country. It was as though the country was a national strike competition among the public services. Today teachers are on strike, tomorrow nurses are on strike, the next day TUC is on strike, drivers are on strike, even to an extent Akpeteshi Drinkers Association were on strike. This was under Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Right.
Wait, don't cut me. Are you supporting him? No, you don't want me to speak.
No, your time is
you don't want Ghanaians to know that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is incompetent.
Your time is out.
All right. Thank you very much.
Right. So, Mr. Akwa, looking at the major defeats the party actually just encountered.
Humiliating defeat, embarrassing defeat, ever in the history of Ghana.
What was one lesson you would say that you've learned from that when you come into power, you're not going to, repeat that again?
All right. You are Araba.
SNM.
Okay. So, Madam SNM, thank you very much. And I must be frank with you. First of all, I have to question my brother's submission. And also, I know he's a youth activist, right?
Yes.
I don't see that in him.
Why?
I see him too fulfilling some bit of a political party. Yes, per what he just narrates.
Which political party?
He is fulfilling the bits of a political party, being the NDC political party. Because per what he is saying, he did mention of so many things. Every political party, being the NDC, NPP, has one way or the other, been affected with defeats. Because we all went into election, the NDC have suffered from defeat before. Yes. The NPP, all the other minor political parties have suffered from defeat before. So defeat in an election is nothing. It's nothing news or nothing new to talk about. And I am back on his submission, fulfilling the bit of a political party, being the NDC, because per what he is mentioning, President Nana Addo Dankwa, the former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo served for 8 years, and he was mentioning that it was his government that appoint, as many as it is, political personnel into the judicial system ever. How can you conclude now? Even a political party, the NDC entered into government barely a year, and even he has appointed more than necessary. When you look at yearly, more than necessary that we can talk about. So clearly we can all see, the Ghanaians listening to us, watching us can see that he's fulfilling the bid of the NDC as of now. He's not speaking from the angle as a youth activist. Being a youth activist, I know he's going to advocate for the youth, but I'm not seeing that in him today.
So are you trying to say that whatever that he said is not factual?
Yeah, I can boldly say that because I see some political lens in him. Let me be frank with you. He did mention of unemployment. We are aware when the NPP came into power in 2016 or 2017. We faced a lot of unemployment challenges. You know, teacher training allowance were not paid, nursing training allowance were not paid. It took the Nana government that he's criticizing to restore all these allowances. You get it? When you go to the NIA that you talk that there are some, you know, flaws and other stuff that are personal data. When you mention of SIM card being not verified with the Ghana card, that is not the work of the government. That is the work of the telcos. So you cannot shift that blame to the new patriotic government by then. That's supposed to be the work of the telcos. We must be frank and we must be sincere. So when certain things or something is not being done well, you cannot say. That is what you see, Ghana. The reason why we are not, you know, improving is that most of the institutions are failing. And when the institution fails, we just direct everything to the government. Let's say if DVLA is not doing its work well, does it mean it's the government? That is the institution. So when we hit hard on the institutional heads, that is where they are going to, you know, be or put up their task and work efficiently for Ghanaians. You see, that's what I'm saying. Every political party in this country has suffered defeat before.
Yes.
We suffered defeat before. And scandals in government, you know, it happened here and there. Both the NDC, both the NPP. We are all aware that about 43 cases, you know, were discontinued in this current government. That the state or the country is no more interested. So what is he speaking about that? Being a youth activist, that you have to advocate, you know, highly for the youth. A case people who are facing corruption charges, who were in court, the state just come and tell us, say, they are no more interested. And as a youth activist, you are okay with that. You see, we should be very, very, very truthful to ourselves. And I have made that statement clearly, that I see some political lens, you know, in his statement or in his submission, that it shouldn't be. Because I respect his office as a youth activist and a social commentator, that he needs to be what? Neutral. He needs to face the facts. You see, when he mentioned of inflation, the new patriotic party has took the inflation to a single digit before. If he doesn't know, he should do his check well. You see, inflation go ups and down based on what is happening globally. We all know the challenges that the new patriotic party came and faced, and even afterwards, you know, the US was able or were able to inform Ghanaians that Akufo-Addo has been the best president ever. And yes, looking at the way he managed the country in times of COVID, looking at the way he managed the country, Russia-Ukraine war, you see, there are so many things that when we try to ignore, we might not make our facts right. Look at what happened during COVID-19 time. Ghanaians, you know, this man fought for us. This man really showed a kind of leadership skills in him. And indeed, the whole country was so happy the way the former president Nana Akufo-Addo, you know, through his able vice president Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, they placed the country in a very stable grounds that we know so many countries out there, you know, feel the heat of COVID-19. And Ghana, thank God we are having a good leader like Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and the former president Nana Akufo-Addo. We must be sincere and we must, you know, commend them on how they stood on their feet and even worked hard for this country. That now, COVID-19 took so many lives. Even not the hard work of the president by then, Nana Akufo-Addo. Maybe you and I might not be alive by now. Right. So we should rather, you know, commend them and also support their initiatives. We cannot take that out, because I always say Now that the new Patriotic Party is not in power, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia has 33 policies now working. The paperless port.
Yeah, you already mentioned.
Yes, I've already mentioned that. The paperless port,
right.
the DVLA, whatever that it is under the policies of the previous government, the NPP. Right. So my brother, please, I'll plead of him that he should speak for the youth and also face the facts than putting on political lens. Thank you.
Right. It looks like you didn't really answer my question.
Yes.
That has to do with what you've learned from as a party. What is one thing that you've taken out of the defeat you had just recently?
That's what I said. Every political party has suffered defeat before.
Has suffered defeat.
So
so if there's one word you will use to say you've learned from that, what would it be?
What we've learned a lot.
A lot.
Because when you went for exam or when you sit for exams and you fail, you have to sit down and recall on certain things and decide to learn very well and look at the mistakes that you did that caused that. But when every political party go for election and lost, the parties sit down. That is why the new Patriotic Party, we've done amendments.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that amendment is actually supposed to, bind you. But looking at some of the comments going, Atachia coming that we don't want Kennedy Japan, we also see Ajasafo also making some sort of comment. It actually looks like there's some sort of still tension in that party. Is it that you haven't resolved your issues yet as a party? My dear, the fact is that when there are primaries in every political party, these tensions, come up. But don't you think it's hurting your party? Well, that is why we've took upon ourselves that we need to have early Congress. Which is the delegates conference you had. Yes, that we had. And do you think it has yielded any results so far? Yes, it has. That is why we have some policies or programs that we need to elect the flag bearer as early as it is, so that whoever that the defeat goes to will sit down, reflect, then we unite once again, then we all go for power 2028. So right after this election, your intention as a party is to now come back and unite? Yes. Don't you think it should be the other way? No. The NDC has their own. Just recently, yes, I know, but it is something that is normal. It's normal. But what I'll plead of our leaders is that we should stop the personal attacks. Yes, the personal attacks, that one, I might condemn it, because it's not the best. Yeah. We are all one people, and we are looking up to one agenda that the personal attack shouldn't be. You see, people have people behind, carpet speaking for them on social media, radio, TV, and other stuff. But I have not seen Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on that, lane. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has not stood anywhere to insult someone. But we've been seeing the other candidates, standing on other platforms, television, radio, insulting, using all sort of, abusive words on Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. That shows, in all, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia has never replied any of them. That shows how the man is, the leadership skills that he has to lead the new Patriotic Party. So please, and please again, I'm pleading with the leaders, the other aspirants should desist from personal attacks, because when we are not careful after these primaries, there's going to be a whole lot of issues that it will take a long way for us to settle down to go for power 2028. So as I said, when a political party, when you suffered from defeat, you sit down, you reflect on certain things that you did that was not well, then you work on it, then you move once again. Right. So the MPP has done that, and we believe that after 31st, peace is going to reign in the political party. Right. Thank you. We wish you the best. Thank you. Right. Chata.
Esinam.
Yeah, there's been a huge allegation over your head.
My brother has spoken a lot.
Yes.
And, I will always maintain that I'm a youth activist, and I represent the voice of the people, and I always try to speak the realities on the grounds. And sometimes the truth does hit. Yeah. So I'm not surprised my brother is emotional and is unhappy with the fact that I am speaking the truth, because the more we speak the truth, the more we educate Ghanaians, and the more Ghanaians become aware that the NPP is one party that is an enemy of state and should never be allowed to power again. And you asked him a question, whether the NPP, they have learned any lesson from this failure. Esinam, as a matter of fact, as we speak today, the NPP is no longer a political party.
Then what is it then?
The NPP is no longer a political party, but a group of content creators and jokers. They have not learned anything from the most humiliating and embarrassing defeat that Ghanaians give them. And I say this because the NPP, if I were them and I have been voted out in this manner, I must go back to the drawing board and reflect that what did we do wrong? What exactly was our mistake? But the question is, has the NPP even acknowledged that they did something wrong to Ghanaians? They have failed to identify their mistakes. And the same mistakes that sent them into opposition is the same mistakes that they continue to repeat even as we speak today. Esinam, a political party, let me define a political party so that you understand what I'm trying to say. A political party is an organized group of people who share similar ideas, beliefs, and goals about how a country should be governed, and who come together to win political power through elections so they can form government or influence public policy. Form government or influence public policy. Now that you are not in government, they are supposed to influence public policy. But all what they are doing today, how are they influencing public policy?
Have you forgotten the 5%
which democratic process?
Don't interject.
Which democratic process have you seen, or developmental agenda can you see that the NPP is influencing for this country right now? We all witnessed what happened in Parliament while appropriation bills were being signed so that people can be paid next year, so that the 50,000 nurses that are trained professionals that the NPP government refused to give job for 5 years, they can also find space for them next year. These people were trying to prevent parliament proceedings from happening, but all things equal, parliament still went on and on and on. Now, I have said that you see a disappointed monkey, or a decorated monkey is still a monkey. You can never brand a decorated monkey and present it to us as maybe face of Ghana or Ghana most beautiful. We will not buy it. Now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia that my brother is selling here this morning. Don't call me. Ghanaians come out to vote for Dr. Bawumia. Ghanaians come out to vote for Dr. Bawumia. Where is the one district, one factory? Where is the one village, one dam? This is the institution of failure that I'm talking about. Now, there is a video in circulation as we speak today. Dr. Bawumia is telling Ghanaians that, he's telling actually NPP people, that he is going to do a database. And in that database, the details of all NPP members are going to be in that database, such that when job opportunities come, they don't even need to apply for jobs, but they will be given those jobs because the database is coordinated, and that database will not allow people outside the party to have access to jobs. Is this what we are preaching? Esinam, what this means is that you are not a member of the NPP, when you are qualified and competent for a job, you will not get that job. But my brother here, who is a member of the NPP, even if he doesn't qualify for the job, Dr. Bawumia is going to give him that through his digital database. He's going to have that unfair advantage over you. So you see the level of nepotism and favoritism and grand incompetence that the NPP is continuing to push. That is why I say they are going to remain in opposition for long. The NPP is going to be in opposition for long because they haven't learned anything from going into this opposition, and they have clearly even failed to acknowledge the efforts of some of their fathers, like the former president John Ajekum Kufuor. Last time I was so much pained when President Kufuor came out to speak, and I'm sure even my brother.
Was it a delay interview?
Yes. When President Kufuor came out to speak, that he was not consulted on some of the projects. He stated categorically the National Cathedral. See, Yes. Any political party that doesn't give respect to their founding fathers or those that were in leadership before you inherited power, you have already signed an agreement to go on a long-term agenda of failure. And that is what the NPP is facing today under Mahmoud Bawumia, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So the NPP hasn't learned anything. And if you ask me, I can tell you that the NPP is not even ready for power. They are not even prepared for power at all. Therefore, they are going to be those content creators and they shall continue to do their content and content. We, our social media, we shall watch it, we shall laugh, we shall take them for their unseriousness. But I no longer regard the NPP as a political party. They only make us laugh on social media now. Thank you.
Right. So if not Bawumia, then who again? Would you say that they shouldn't even present him to even lead the party? They should rather bring up a new face. Is that what you are saying?
See, all that I'm saying is that the NPP as a political party in itself shouldn't be allowed close to power because they are not ready.
So they shouldn't even come to power at all.
There is one lady, her name is Rosemond. She was once she is a former member of the NPP, but due to their attitude, she's out of the NPP. She recommended that she worked under Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. She recommended that the NPP should withdraw from the 2028 race. They should go back to the drawing board and seek group counseling because there is a form of disorder that they must be counseled of so that they can begin to straighten themselves, work on their internal issues, solve all disputes, regroup, come out with a vision and a promise for Ghanaians before they should even think of going into an election. So that is the same advice that I am also going to give the NPP. In 2028, they shouldn't waste resources. But it seems as though they wouldn't take my advice, which is a fact, because they are hungry for power and they are just jokers. So they will still come. And nobody in the NPP, even as we speak today, is even competent to even lead Ghana. Even Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, if he wins the primaries, Ghanaians will still reject him. Away. If Dr. even in the NPP, they know that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, even if they present him as the presidential candidate, Ghanaians will not allow him to be their president. So Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's political career comes to an official end in 2028. Because after 2028, they can't sell him again. Because even now, they are even struggling to market Dr. My brother here hasn't even given me. I was expecting that when I saw the flyer at first that I'm being paired with an NPP communications team member of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I was like, oh wow, finally I may get the chance to interact with him so that he can convince me to join the NPP. He can convince me to vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But my brother has failed. Even you, Esinam, if you have the chance, would you vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? Be honest to Ghanaians. No. Will you vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and tell me why?
I'll tell you backdoor.
You'll tell me backdoor? It means you are not ready to say the truth?
No, it's not like that.
It casts the aspersion of doubt.
It
simply means that even you know for a fact, together with the millions of Ghanaians that rejected Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, that he shouldn't be presented again. So we are not asking Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to come, but if he comes, we have no choice than to reject him. And whoever the NPP is going to present in 2028, as far as they don't have any vision, as far as they don't have a purpose, as far as they don't have a future, they don't hold a promise, Ghanaians will continue to reject them. And that is what Ghanaians are saying. I am saying this in capacity of a youth activist representing over the voice of over millions of Ghanaian youth. And that is what we are all saying.
They are disappointed. This morning they are disappointed in you.
Why are they disappointed?
Because you've not met the
So right now, what can you tell me that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wants to do for Ghanaians?
You see, thank you. Should I take the
Yes.
Yes, okay. So thank you. And I like the way you put the question. You see, when you were mentioning, you mentioned a whole lot that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia doesn't qualify to lead Ghana and whatever that it is. I've said earlier on that even this current government is enjoying his 33 policies that he implemented previously.
But I thought he was
hold on. I'm giving you the point lines.
Are you now saying that we are enjoying because of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's
and
efforts?
you said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia went ahead previously and implemented the e-levy. My dear, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia was 100% in opposing that e-levy policy.
So why did it happen?
Even today, he's still saying that. You see, there are so many things, they just want to put the blame or shift the blame to Dr.
But we also Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia cutting the e-levy cake, my brother.
Because
I will not allow you to throw that into the eyes of
allow
Ghanaians.
you to make your point. Hold on.
We also Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia cutting the e-levy cake.
I like this very well, but we want the viewers to get us clear.
Okay.
And the
right.
point
Then
there
speak
is
the
that
truth.
you said yes, you are happy when you saw the flyer that I represent Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in the Eastern region, and you want. I've given you the 33 policies which is functioning now.
But I'm
and
not convinced.
again, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is saying that the party needs to have database for its people. That is solid. You can't say anything about this that is something that is uncalled for or is not going to work. Because yes, indeed, the party needs to get that database. You are here saying that because of that database, then meaning he's going to only appoint NPP people into government or into various institutions when he becomes president in 2028.
But he said it himself.
That is wrong.
But I have the video on my phone.
You are here as a youth activist. Hold on. You are here as a youth activist.
I did not say it.
You see, you are here as a youth activist when this current government tells us that when you don't have the NDC party card, you are not going to have an appointment. Do you hear that? As a journalist, did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
Honestly, I have not heard.
I have also not heard that.
And from today, you can just go that and see. They said it. That if you don't have the NDC party card, forget appointment.
Who made that
statement? I have not heard any such
I've
thing.
forgotten the person who made the statement.
So,
it was true.
So you can't say that. No, you can't say that once you don't have the facts.
The one in charge of I'll get the name and give you back. So what I'm saying here is that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and when he's saying that if you even qualify for the appointment because the data is saying that you should give the job to the party people, you are not. Look at what he's saying. We are here, the whole country in this government, under John Dramani Mahama government, the whole country, NADMO coordinator, is on the appointment of BEC certificate. That one you've not heard it, Madam Mason. You've not heard it. No. Let the viewers, get us clear. Madam, you answer this question for me. You've not heard that, or for that one you've heard it. Please kindly answer me, then we continue. Have you heard it? Have you heard it?
I've not heard it.
You haven't heard it. You see, no, he's dictating for you. When
she hasn't heard it.
She hasn't heard it.
You've been honest. That you haven't heard that.
I also
National NADMO coordinator is on that appointment on BEC certificate.
I've not heard it.
Oh, Ghanaians.
Because it's not in the
news.
Hasn't is it in the
then
news?
I'm telling you now, it should be in the news now.
But how do you know?
So now,
if it's in the news, I'll see it and read it.
You see, and we all know Rashid Tanko, they are whatever in charge of elections, is going out there with fake certificates, fake doctorate certificate. Have you heard it? Have you heard it? Have you heard it?
I can't say someone's certificate is fake because I've not seen
this thing has been in the news.
But how factual is that?
Don't let Jata to intimidate you on the show. You are the moderator. You are the moderator. You are the moderator.
I will not allow anybody come and dictate for me. I'm going to tell you the honest truth and nothing but the truth. If I'm not seeing it,
okay, now then listen to me. Have you heard that Dr. Rashid Tanko, the certificate, the doctorate degree certificate that he is holding, is fake?
I've not heard that.
You've not heard that?
You are the one saying it.
Okay, then I'm saying it today on your show. That Dr. Rashid Tanko, his doctorate degree certificate is fake. And due to that, the institution in charge of those certificates have ordered him not to call himself a doctor again.
So has GTEC come out to debunk that?
Who? Yes. They have come out clearly to say no one should call Rashid Tanko a doctor.
Did Rashid Tanko?
You just check it right now as the conversation is going on, then come back again.
But the question.
So again, I am saying this: Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has a lot of policies for Ghanaians. He said one constituency, 10 appointments. All these things that it means it's going for the party people. You see, he's just thinking about the entire, Ghanaians, the youth that they're supposed to, work so that they can earn something for a living. That is what Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is looking up to. In the 2024 general election, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia was coming with 1 million youth into dictarization. Was that true? And we had a minister, a deputy minister, who went to parliament, who is not even to what do you call, define coding. Are you aware?
Yeah, I saw that on national television.
Good. A whole deputy minister was not even able to define coding. Let me ask my brother here, does he fit that appointment? These are some of the things that is just, the youth are disappointed in him this morning. He should take that political lens off and speak for the country and speak for the youth. So Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia has, a lot of policies that will help this country in 2028. And some of the things are hiding because we know these NDC people, they always steal ideas. They don't want to work for their ideas. They want to see someone implementing it, then they will steal it. They came out to say they are coming in with 24-hour economy. I wish my brother would have said that the 24-hour economy that this current administration promised the youth of this country, they have failed the entire youth of this country because the 24-hour economy is not working. The 133 shift, my brother, as a youth activist, just tell the Ghanaians and tell the youth that you are serving, say, is the 133 shift promised by the NDC have been fulfilled? No! This is what you need to speak up for. We should be very sincere to ourselves. We are working for God and country. We are not working for ourselves. You see, this 133 shift by the NDC government is not working and the youth are more aggressive. You see, they went to various galamsey sites. We all know the problem that galamsey has caused this country. Causing our water turbidity level to be high. That we don't even have, clean water to drink. We don't even have, a very, sound water to drink.
Right.
This case, you don't talk about it, but you just say someone is a failure, someone has lost an election, so he's not credible. That is not what the youth want to listen. The youth want you to tell them, say, what the promise that the NDC government gave them now, or failure, the government should be on its toes to implement all those things for the ordinary Ghanaians, for the youth of this country to get jobs. That is what you need to look at. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia remained a competent person to lead Ghana 2028. So Ghanaians should trust him, should put their belief and everything in him. Say he will be the rightful person to save Ghana from this, ditch that John Dramani Mahama has taken us to. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Let's move on. Government announces 1 billion Ghana cedis revitalization fund to rebuild Boko. So government has announced a 1 billion Ghana cedis revitalization fund aimed at rebuilding Boko after years of conflict and destruction. And this fund is set to support infrastructure reconstruction, economic recovery, and social cohesion in the area. So this announcement was made by His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama yesterday. I think after the mediation report was handed over to him by Otunfor Osei-Tutu. Do you think this is actually a good cause? Looking at over the years, the Boko fights. I think this Boko fights, even when I was in class 3, I was even hearing about
over 60 years.
Right, yeah, it's been there for quite a number of years now. And finally, they are doing everything to make sure that they come to a mutual agreement and then to resolve this fight. And as part of the effort, they are raising funds, 1 billion Ghana cedis funds to revitalize the area, to set up the area, make it conducive in terms of creating more infrastructure and then businesses right there. Do you think this is a good cause?
All right, Esenam, thank you once again. And before I come to that, just for the sake of public education, I want to lay emphasis on what the 24-hour economy entails fully. The 24-hour economy looks at creating an enabling. This is
so you educate the people.
It's important that we understand what it is so that we can appreciate it. So the 24-hour economy looks at creating an enabling environment for businesses to thrive, and then they can expand to absorb a lot of people to increase their production.
That is 24-hour economy.
That is what 24-hour economy looks at. So
the
as
minister
we speak,
himself was not able to define it.
As we speak today, SNM, as a matter of fact, DVLA is operating under 24-hour economy. And as we speak today, Ghana Port and Harbour Authority is operating under 24-hour economy. And as we speak today, Tema Oil Refinery, the company that the NPP wanted to sell for an amount of $22 million. But under the new CEO, Edmond Combat, the refinery is now making a profit of $21 million just in 7 months. It's mind-blowing. I mean, a company, they wanted to sell $22 million, and now in just 7 months, we are making $21 million. Big shout out to the CEO, Edmond Combat. But then, so all I'm trying to say is, all that these companies that are also running a 24-hour economy, you know, it's a process. We didn't promise 24
because they were all working in 24 hours.
Oh, so you believe 24-hour economy doesn't?
So it's something which is not new.
So 24-hour economy is not new. It's not new. So but you told me that you don't understand it.
The hospitals were working 24 hours.
Can we get to the main issue?
Let's get back. I was just mentioning the ones that the recent development. So that is just about the 24-hour economy. With the matter regarding Boku and the mediation, I must commend the efforts of President John Dramani Mahama and then Otum for His Royal Majesty, most respected, for his efforts in this mediation. You know, we've come a long way as a country, and I believe it's about that time that the people of Boku, both the Mamprosi and the Kusasi, come together and then do away with their violence, because it has starved them of development for so many years. Even just recently, the president was speaking with so much frustration and pain. I saw pain in his eyes. He was like, they couldn't even post national service personnel, and then school education, health. A lot of things are being affected in that area, because per oral history that I know, Boku used to be a very big town full of economic activities, a very buoyant local economy they had. But because of the insurgence of this violence, they've lost a lot of major investments, education, health, and all of that. So the efforts are still underway, and then we are hoping that the mediation report will be truthfully accepted in good faith, and then the president also promising to invest about 1 billion Ghana cedis to revitalize the economy. It's a step in the right direction, because when it will help them to recover from the significant losses that they have been through over the years. And then this amount also, if which will be well invested, I believe, would also help them to be finally they would have something. You see, sometimes when you live in a place where you don't have any reason to live, because your whole life has been full of violence, you do not have factories, you don't have companies in your hometown, so life is more or less worthless in that setting. So you feel like, okay, then I would rather die than to be alive. So they would fight for causes that are not even just. But now we are going to give them a reason. We are going to give them hope. You go to school, you have access to proper education, there will be companies, there will be factories, you get jobs in your community, you work to the development of your community. So now when you build your community, you wouldn't even want anything to destroy that situation. And they have long prayed for this type of thing. So it's a good initiative, and then we just want the processes to be expedited. I have a personal interest in the development of Boku, because I believe that, you know, we need to have a balanced growth and development as a nation. We shouldn't deprive them at all.
Right. Exactly.
Well. You see, this issue of revitalizing Boku.
Yes.
If I have something to say, what I would like to say is that what are the basic research per negotiations with the House of Chiefs and other relevant stakeholders in the vicinity? What are their proposals before government is saying that it's injecting that 1 billion Ghana cedis to revitalize, you know, the place? When we are not careful, this thing will go there and it will not work, because the people are not ready to lay down their guns,
their weapons.
Yes, they are not ready to lay down their weapons. So you are building then they will also be breaking. You'll be building, and they will be demolition. That is what the government should look up to. We have a very critical issue in Boko that the government is not looking at it this way, but rather the interest of the government is about money, loot and share. Because this 1 billion Ghana cedis that the government is saying that is going to inject into Boko, to be honest with you, that money will not get to Boko. Tamale said it will not get to. Kumasi said that money will not get to. But it will remain in individuals' pockets. That's the whole thing. Because we are aware. It took the previous administration. There was a tragedy that happened at, is it Apiasi or something? There was explosion. Yes, look at how Nanado Dr. Elijah Mahmoud Baumia took the issues upon themselves. Create a new city for them. Now as we are speaking, Apiasi have a new city. People are living in new modern, rooms, buildings. This is what we call leadership. But not a leader, not a government whose interest is about money. Let me dedicate some money here. Let me take some money here, and that money will not get to the source. The monies are not going to work for what it was intended for. That's what I'm saying. Yes, we heard the amount that he has mentioned is good, but let's ask ourselves: is it going to be fruitful? Is it going to work? Are we going to see that yes, indeed, the money has served its purpose? Or they are going to share the monies to the chiefs? I don't understand.
So what do you suggest government do?
Government should be on its toes, have a very concrete negotiation with the stakeholders in Boko and its environs, make sure that they all sign a peace pact that both families are going to lay down their weapons based on the peace pact agreement they are going to sign. Even when we are going for an election that no one is holding weapon, we sign peace pact. And where people are flying weapons and other stuffs, the security agencies are failing to apply that. No, we should be serious as a country. This is the time that those people over there, our people, our brothers in Boko, should sign a peace pact that they have agreed to every negotiations that the stakeholders has come together to agree on. They decide a peace pact. That is when the government will have that ability or that promise. Say yes, now that they have agreed, they are going to lay off their weapons. Then we can inject such an amount to rebuild. Boko.
So as it stands now, you think it's too early?
It's just waste of time. That's what I'm telling you, that my dear, that money will not even get to Kumasi. We've heard it that yes, they are going to revitalize it. They are going to rebuild Boko with such an amount, but that money would not get to Boko. It is going to some individuals. Maybe my brother will be part of it. Maybe I said maybe because he has now remained the government spokesperson because he just defined the 133 or the 24-hour economy, whereby the minister himself was not able to define, and the institutions that he mentioned were already functioning under these 24 hours already. I was hoping Senka is going to mention hospitals, police stations, and other staffs, because all these people were indeed working under these 24 hours already. No, when the NDC was campaigning in 2024 general election, they did say even sports, that's beer bars, discotheques, they are all going to work 24 hours. The most common thing in this country, they've not even implemented it. Now disco, every corner you can see pubs, they are even not working 24 hours. The most common thing in that promise, they have not achieved it. So what are they telling us? So if he is the government spokesperson, he should let us, or he should educate Ghanaians on the discotheque. That the government or the president made us understand that the discos are going to work. My dear, when you take route from here to, let's say, Pokwase, you could see even from 9 p.m. all these pubs have closed down. The 24-hour is not working. So if you want to explain for Ghanaians to understand very well, you should include that for us to know. Because that one will be most favorable for me. Yes, the discotheque. yes, it will be fair.
But I know nightclubs that work 24 hours. And you know, even you are aware.
You see,
I know clubs also.
That is why the government is failing to let Ghanaians understand certain things from certain angle. They are not the people implementing it. Me, if I have my own institution, I can decide to run it 24 hours. So it's not the government.
So if you have that institution, the government is saying that they will enable you, they will create the environment.
What environment?
Tax,
except you can come and tell us that
tax reliefs.
Tax relief?
Yes, for companies that are ready to
economy.
Get exactly.
You see,
and then they will also
what I'm
reduce
expecting,
your electricity
what I'm expecting
and help
this
you
government
with security.
to do, what?
Help
Electricity tariff, whereby we have increment last week.
I mean,
don't
talk about that increment. It's an IMF branch.
What I am expecting my brother or the government to say is say, now the schools are also going to run 24 hours. Then we are going to look at how teenage pregnancy is also going to escalate in this country.
Hey.
The only thing that I wish that the government is going to implement as well as our economy is our various schools.
All right.
And yes, we understand that.
Right.
To also to absorb this thing that they said they are going to end the double track system. If they are going to end the double track system, then they should implement or they should fix the 24-hour economy in our various schools. And when I have boys in the schools, I'll be very happy and I'll be glad about it.
24-hour economy is for businesses. It's not for.
But
our schools are already operating 24 hours.
Where?
I attended.
We
wake
up. Operating 24 hours.
The school is in session 24 hours.
Oh,
You wake up by 4:30. You wake up. You go for morning devotion. You go for class. You go for dining. You go for evening prep. You close. It is time for compulsory sleep.
You see,
so the school is already running 24
schools are already running 24 hours.
That is why I'm saying that it has some political lens. That when it takes
let's look at
it's going to help you.
Our last issue briefly, then we call it a wrap. So calls for existing courts to handle Galamsey cases. So former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, has raised concerns about the government's plan to reintroduce public tribunals to handle illegal mining cases, also known as Galamsey. He believes the approach may not be the best solution. He argues that Ghana already has courts such as the Magistrate, the Circuit and High Court that can deal with Galamsey cases if they are properly resourced, instead of creating new tribunals. He says government should invest in improving court buildings, providing adequate staff, and strengthening logistics for the judicial system. So his comments follows President John Dramani Mahaman's announcement that Cabinet has approved a public tribunal bill aimed at speeding up the prosecution of Galamsey-related cases. He sees it as unnecessary and a duplication of institutions and extra costs, especially when some existing courts are operating under poor condition. He warned that creating special courts for specific offences could undermine the principle of equal treatment before the law. Do you think it's even necessary for us to even create a whole new court to handle Galamsey issues? What happens to our old courts? Do you see it as unnecessary?
It's unnecessary. I've said this on several, TV stations. It's unnecessary because the government is trying to do favoritism in the fight of Galamsey.
That's why they want to create a
yes. The special court is that they want to have that special court that when they arrest Mr. Jatta and they knew that Jatta is an NDC member, they will just write to the judge, no, Jatta, case number so and so is our member, leave him. Oh, this person is an NPP person, prosecute him. That is the reason why
they are creating
a new court for to fight Galamsey. But if not that, then yes, they should focus on the old courts because the facilities are there. Even that one is going to help us achieve the 24-hour economy that they are saying, because the judge can sit from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Yes, they provide the securities for them. You see, this is the minor thing that the NDC should learn from us, from the minority. They should learn all this. You see, I'm giving them the ideas to work on. This thing will help them to also implement the 24-hour economy in the judicial system. Ghana, we don't do that. From 8 to 4, then the court have closed, isn't it? That is how it is. From 8 to 4, even the 8, the judge will come around 9. So if they want to implement or they want a good reset that they mentioned, then they should also consider the judicial system under the 24-hour economy, as I'm saying now, that they can also allow those judges that will be sitting in for those Galamsey cases to sit from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. That one also is going to also help us, achieve what they want to, or they mentioned that 24-hour economy. But to creating another, courts, I am just wondering what this government is about. Because they don't know what to do. And we, the minority, when we want to put them on their toes, then they say, no, why are we doing that? We are disgracing them. When you look at parliament, that is what they feel so embarrassed when we are putting them up to their task. Yes, they feel so embarrassed. And that is their worry. And for the quick one, the breaking news is that the Supreme Court also has, let me check from here.
So whilst you check, let me hear from Mr. Jata.
Okay.
Right, Jata.
Okay, so the Supreme Court has also dismissed the Suhum election petitions that the NDC were intending for. Yes. They were also going for that seat again. So this morning, the court also has dismissed that petition too. So they should know they are on the track of failure. They should rather pack back, sit down idly, and think about themselves and learn from the minority as well.
Ayo, Missy.
All right, SNM.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And
he's on the SOS WhatsApp platform, so he's getting some information.
Hey, you in this WhatsApp platform?
I'm not aware of any such WhatsApp platform. And I think that three things that we cannot risk to politicize us: education, health, and the peace we enjoy as a country. So the issue of Boku, as my brother addressed, I was disappointed in submission that he was viewed. No, I wouldn't address it. It's just a quick correction that he shouldn't have gone on that tangent, because we all want the peace to manifest. So anyhow that we are going to get the peace, but you are viewing it more from a political lens, which is not fair to the democratic and the peace we enjoy in this country. Fast forward. Fast forward. in October 2025, when President, after the Auditor General came out with his annual report, President John Dramani Mahama said that he would create special courts so that they can fast track some of the financial crimes that were recorded, as well as the Galamsey and environmental crisis.
The public accounts.
Yes, after the public accounts committee's reports and all of that. So this is just the manifestation of what President John Dramani Mahama said earlier. And as a matter of fact, the court systems, we face a problem where one judge is handling a lot of cases. Our courts are actually choked, which is a matter of fact. So when that happens, it does not create enough room for special attention to be given to Galamsey. Now, the reason why Galamsey deserves priority is because Galamsey is equivalent to terrorism. And so the energy with which we can fight Galamsey, or we can fight terrorism, is the same energy we must confront Galamsey with. That is why we were disappointed in former President Akufo-Addo Dankwa when he failed to, fight Galamsey, and was even allowing Galamsey to happen at his backyard, which is a matter of fact, and my brother is aware of that.
Do you have evidence?
Oh yes, Professor Frimpong Boanto report is there. I say it on authority, and my brother is aware. He knows that Galamsey was happening at the backyard of the presidency, and so many individuals in the NPP, have been involved in Galamsey, which has wrecked our environment, and it got to a point people open tap and the water flowing is brown. But what I know is that water is colorless. But now water has a color, so it tells the extent to which Galamsey is causing damage to the environment. So if anyone says Galamsey shouldn't be given priority in our efforts to fight it, I find that funny, because are we serious about fighting Galamsey? What is the essence of arresting people and not being able to fully prosecute them? Mind you, this is a reset. So the NPP is not going to be familiar with some of our dynamics, and that is fair.
Okay,
because they do not. I mean, we are living in a country. You and I, we all form part. We all form part. We all form part of the government. We all form part of the government. I mean, you are a citizen. We all form part of the government. You have
exposed yourself.
No, we all form part of the government. So when I say we, I mean all well-meaning Ghanaians, except those who don't wish the country well, which is obvious from their colors that he's showing. But then, what I'm saying is that this court system is going to reduce the burden on the existing courts. And now it is not any expensive venture. And now this courts that these 3 high courts that have been assigned, the only thing they are undergoing is refurbishment. It's just like your studio now that you are going to dedicate a specific table to discuss
so
matters.
So it's not like you are going to build a whole new building.
Not the courts already exist.
Are you the Minister of Justice?
Just that it is what the report from the presidency states. What the report states is that 3 high courts will be reassigned for refurbishment.
Right.
So it is not
divisions.
It's not only fighting Galamsey. The court is also going to attend to other criminal cases as well. But its main priority is Galamsey. Now, what is going to happen is that we are going to have just 3 courts to handle Galamsey cases, which means that the trials are going to be speedy. It can be fast tracked. It can be fast tracked. I mean, we even have cases where under the NPP people are arrested for Galamsey. They take them to the police station. The next day, the people we don't even
how
know
can you
about
jail somebody
them.
for 8 days for Galamsey?
You get it? No, it's a fact. It's a fact.
The MC.
No.
MC have been jailed for 8 days.
No. I mean, as for NDC, it doesn't matter who is right or wrong. And me, as where I stand as an activist, I don't care the colors. All I care is that at the end of the day, Galamsey must be fought. So what I'm saying is that we want a system where the Galamsey cases can be fast tracked because Ghanaians we are hungry and thirsty for results. Yes. This is why we voted the NPP out, and this is why the NDC is in power. So anything they will do to fight Galamsey, they must do it. And if they think that creating new tribunals is going to aid and complement the efforts, and I also believe that the more judges, a specific judge, attend to Galamsey cases, you become well acquainted with the cases. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
The more you discuss politics on your show, the more you become better with political talk shows. Yeah. But if you are doing entertainment, politics, business, you are mixing all that, it's also fine. Yeah. But you will not be the same as someone who is specialized in discussing politics. So it's just to strengthen the judicial system and then also help the judges to be more, to be more firm, and then they can be able to pronounce judgments speedy and effectively. And then what we are also looking at is that it's going to serve as deterrent, because the more people are arrested and being sent to jail, the more others are going to be deterred. Because mind you, Ghanaians are hungry for results, and this time around Ghanaians are not even interested in any excuses. So any effort that the government or the president and his judges see that is going to help the country, we must, as citizens, I believe that citizens rather, let us rally behind these people. This is a laudable initiative. At the end of the end game is what? Galamsey illegal miners are going to be arrested and prosecuted fast. That's the end game.
Right.
And we should be excited about that. If creating specialized courts is going to enable that, let us be excited. Let us help the government. Let us support them so that they can fully actualize the potentials that they have promised us.
Right. So let me hear from you, your last words.
All right. SNM, thank you very much. Today has been very, very fantastic.
Yes.
And we had very, very well-meaning conversations. Yes. And then I appreciate. I thank my brother too for being. He has been very cooperative. I mean, when I speak, he tends to understand. And at the end of the conversation, I believe that he will be in the same accord with me and come to the understanding that, truthfully, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is a failure. He branded himself as a man of competence, integrity. What Ghanaians voted for and what we got, he is not what we ordered and what we delivered. And so that's just about it. And then we are also praying for lasting peace in Baku. And then also the lithium deal as we spoke about previously. I think you were not.
He was not.
But I mentioned
but
you should praise the minority in parliament. For
it was a collective effort.
What collective?
It's a collective effort.
You were not agreeing.
Let's not go there.
It wasn't just about.
Let us
give applause. Let us give applause when it is due.
Yes.
The parliament as an institution has been able to come to a unanimous consensus on that day. Because mind you, if the NDC or the majority caucus wanted to push it, they could have pushed it through.
How?
By having the more yes in parliament. You get it. So it's let's acknowledge them. And also, today is the birthday of my MP, Honorable Frank Efriye. I said that. Big shout outs to him. God bless you for all that you are doing for the constituency. The people of Afajato South are truthfully excited and happy and honored for having you as an MP. We pray for God's grace, mercies, and guidance upon your life. He's boosting tourism in the district. It's not even a joke. Youth development, chips compound. He's continuing some of the abandoned projects that the previous government left in the constituency. And if he continues this way, I will not be surprised that Afajato South could become Ghana's Dubai.
Sure.
On the tangent which Frank Efriye is going, I will not be surprised. And then you don't know him.
No.
You should know him. Yeah, he's one of the most outspoken new MPs in Parliament, doing marvelously well. Always in touch with the grassroots. Even today, he's in his constituency. So all MPs should emulate him. Awesome. And the wonderful thing is that his MP Frank Anodompre is a very good friend of Frank Efriye. Look at that. They were both seniors. They were both mates in Bishop
He's learning from Frank Anodompre.
They were both mates in Bishop Emma College.
Right, let me hear from you, Mr.
Okay, so as we are wrapping up, I just want to say one or two things. I hope as the lens that he was having, he will suggest and propose the government to implement the 24-hour economy into the judicial system. As I said, they should look at it from a broader picture and do that, and it will help them. Okay. And again, he did mention a lot, but I don't want to go there for the sake of time. I would like to say, indeed, he has also been, he has done well by also accepting some of the facts that he has no ideas about, and we all agree that the country is what we are all seeking for, and we want the country's well-being. But again, he should put this down, that the minority in parliament is rather, putting the government on its toes. There are some bills that were laid in Parliament, if not for the sake of the minority. We thank God for the leadership of the minority as well. Honorable Afenyon Markins, the what do you call Wejagbawi MP, Jerry Ahmed. These people are really doing marvelously well for the country. And Honorable Frank Anodompre, Member of Parliament, my MP for Insawama Dwejiri. In fact, he is a great man and he's a good leader. He doesn't even think about his constituency alone, but think about the entire, nation. Because this man stood for this lithium deal, bill in Parliament, and at the end, we thank God for the majority also. Looking at it very critically, that what the minority was saying is a fact that we all need to look to. And there is one thing that, again, we will speak against, that the black voter deal that the government has handed over to Ibrahim Mahama to mine in the black voter. Water is something that is very precious to every nation that we need not to joke with. And we believe that when he mentioned of Galamsey, and prosecutions about Galamsey.
This is your last words, dear.
we imprisoned people who were, found capable of doing Galamsey. This government came and released them. So what are they up to?
Right.
You went to Galamsey side, promised the youth that they should vote for you when you come in office. You are going to allow them to mine.
Responsibly.
Again, you are still, you are the same government who have devoted, security personnel to go after them. I've been saying this, that the work of NIMOS has become...
Your last words.
Yes, my last words. The work of NIMOS has become so critical and difficult for them because of some political promises that during the 2024 campaign, the NDC-led administration promised the youth of this country. And we should be very mindful when we are going for elections, the kind of promise that we give to, the people whom they are going to vote for us. And I believe going forward, how my brother has cooperated this morning, I must thank him. But again, when it's coming the next time, there is a particular lens that I want him to take off when we can also cooperate with him.
All right.
So thank you very much.
Thank you too. So before we leave, there are some comments on Facebook that I would like to read. So this is coming from Kingsley Opuo. Did Mama consulted JJ when he was president then and lost in 2016? And this is coming from Osei Kofi. Even Sami Jenfi said no president can fulfill all his promises. So Mr. NDC gentleman, stop asking that question. Where is the stop asking that question? Where is the one district, one factory and more? And has John Dramani Mahama delivered all his promises? This is coming from Kingsley again. The so-called youth activist is just an NDC member who is fulfilling his party ambition. From Kingsley again, poor ignorance from this NDC guy.
What have I done to Kingsley?
Lastly, from Kingsley, when you invest in something, when you invest into something, your voice destroyed, you don't need to be recommended. I don't really get it. I don't know what
I think he's referring to President Kufuor.
Yeah. Right. So there are some few comments on Facebook for you. All right.
I'm sure Kingsley is a friend of Mr.
I'm very positive.
So Mr. Arthur,
he's Kingsley.
I won't even be surprised.
He's even Kingsley.
Or is his own.
That means his own Facebook account.
You can check my account on Facebook. I am Kingsley.
So the Kingsley couldn't get any comment from my brother here.
No. What he's saying is actually a discussion.
Or maybe he's a party member.
He's a party member.
He's a party member. Right. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Kingsley and Jata.
I'll find you.
Please forgive me. Okay. Jata. Thank you so much for the interesting conversation we had right here. And thank you to our lovely audience for doing the talking and the listening. And thank you to our Facebook commentators for sending in your comments. You made the show very interactive. Thank you. We'll meet same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.